Welcome to the Southern Bancorp Badger pregame show. We'll take a look at last week's game and this week's opponent with head coach J.R. Eldridge.
Let's it go.
Now, let's head to the stadium with the voice of the Badgers, Dr. Jeff Root.
Badger Stadium. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the broadcast tonight. We are into the playoffs now, the second season of the Arkadelphia Badgers, third season if you count the preseason games. And it's going to be an outstanding game tonight, but an unusual game because Arkadelphia takes on an opponent that they have not seen before. The Dewitt Dragons are 6-4 coming in, only 3-4 in conference play, but they had a huge victory last week against a number one seed. So this is a hot football team. They pass the ball extremely well, but DeWitt will have to throw the ball, and it's probably going to be wet tonight. It's not raining very much now. We think the rain will stop altogether at some point, but you might see a little bit of rain on the camera tonight because it is a wet night and kind of a foggy night right now in Arkadelphia. The field is wet, but there's no mud because of this beautiful AstroTurf field that we have here in Arkadelphia. And so it's going to be an outstanding game between two teams, one that expects to win in Arkadelphia and the other looking for the attention of the state with an upset of the Badgers tonight. DeWitt coming to Arkadelphia, renting several buses to come to Arkadelphia. They expect a big game, but Arkadelphia expects to continue its winning ways. The Badgers come in, of course, at 10-1 on the season and with a big victory in the first round of the playoffs last week. Once again, this is Jeff Root with you tonight to bring you the broadcast. Going to be Jack Bennington, Chris Babb, and also Jim Rothwell. We're glad to be with you. And Blake Bell's going to drop in as well at halftime. May say a word or two to us at pregame as well. Glad to welcome him to the broadcast. It's going to be an outstanding night. And when we come back, you're going to hear from the Arkadelphia head football coach and his interview in the Coaches Show with our own Chris Babb. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
What if a bank didn't just make home loans, but taught responsible home ownership? What if a bank didn't just make business loans, but actually trained successful entrepreneurs? And what if a bank didn't just help you use credit, but helped you build and repair it? That would be a different kind of bank. Southern Bancorp, a bank on a mission to be wealth builders for everyone. Learn how you can bank differently at banksouthern.com/whatif.
Under perfect conditions, your car traveling at 65 miles per hour can stop in about 300 feet. That's the length of a football field.
But a fully loaded tractor trailer, one that weighs 80,000 pounds, will take 2 football fields to stop. And that's if the driver is rested, paying attention, and the truck and load is properly maintained.
If you're in an accident with a big truck, call 1-800-CAR-WRECK.
Get the experienced team that's going to be on your side, by your side.
As a family-owned sporting goods supplier since 1950, Southwest Sporting Goods understands the value of customer service and is committed to providing the best quality customer service and merchandise available. Southwest Sporting Goods is located in Arkadelphia, but also has salesmen that cover the entire state of Arkansas to help ensure that their customers will receive the best customer service and pricing that can be found. Southwest Sporting Goods, located in downtown Arkadelphia, supporting the Badgers since 1950. Locally owned and operated, Welch Funeral Home has been serving the Arkadelphia community since 2005. Our goal at Welch Funeral Home is to offer every family that will allow us to serve them the most caring, dignified, professional service at the most affordable price. With over 40 years of experience in the funeral home industry, owner Tim Welch and Welch Funeral Home have also been longtime supporters of the Arkadelphia Badgers and Lady Badgers. Contact Welch Funeral Home at 870-230-1400 or visit them at 202 South 4th Street near downtown Arkadelphia. Welcome back to the Southern Bancorp Badger pregame show. Chris Babb with Arkadelphia head coach J.R. Eldridge. And coach, round 2 of the playoffs. Let's talk about round 1. Your guys came out focused, ready to go, executed special teams in the first 4 or 5 plays of the game. It set up a couple of touchdowns and really set the tone for the game last week in the first round win against Pottsville.
Yeah, I thought we had a great week of practice. I thought our coaches had great plans for our football team. Thought that offensively, defensively, and on special teams, we were able to execute the things that we worked in practice. Our players did a great job in practice all week in preparation for Pottsville. That led to a great Friday night where we were able to execute, play as hard as we can, and really kind of work together in all three phases to create a rollover effect throughout the game. So very thankful that we've got a great group of coaches and a great group of players who know how to prepare.
Capturing momentum at the outset of the game seemed to be something, and then setting the tone. Pottsville comes out with an onside kick, you recover it, score in 3 plays, and then hearing you on the coaches show talk this week about trying to steal possessions against a team that was going to try to be a ball control offense, and you were able to do that on the onside kick that you recover. You capitalize on it to go up 14-0 really quickly and set the tone really early in the game.
Yeah, and that, again, I think it just goes back to preparation by our coaches and preparation by our players. We talked all week about, wanting the ball first to be able to set the tone. We were able to score very quickly, and then we practiced all week the surprise onside. We were able to execute that and then score quickly again. And then by the end of the first quarter, we were able to go up by 28 points, which is extremely hard for a Pottsville-type offense to be able to come back from when they want to be able to eat the clock and want to be able to keep you from having the ball. I thought our defense did a great job of getting them off the field on third down. 2 weeks prior, I think we were 48% on third down. This week, the opposing offense, this past week, the opposing offense was 20% on third down, 2 out of 10. So extremely proud of the way our players played and our coaches coached.
Offensively, more passing yards against Pottsville than we've seen. Cannon Turner, nice night passing. Buster Thomas had the touchdown the touchdown pass. Kyron Harrison also out of the backfield had more receptions, I believe 6 receptions against Pottsville. So the passing game was there. It's kind of a, take what the defense gives you, but had to be pleased with the success of the offense.
Oh, yeah. I felt like Coach Moreland had a great plan for us offensively. And we really executed, and that's one of the things that I think Coach Moreland wanted to do is distribute the ball in such a way that we have balance. We see balance more of being how many guys can we get the ball to and how many guys can make a difference with the ball in their hands, and we were able to do that Friday night, and that makes our offense very, very tough for a defensive coordinator to stop. So I felt like that plan was executed to at a really high level. So really pleased with our offense. It's hard to be able to determine which guy you want to stop when you've got guys all over, our skill set offensively that are making plays with the ball in their hand.
All right, the Badgers will face the Dewitt Dragons at home tonight in the second round of the 4A state playoffs, Arkadelphia and Dewitt. Just a few minutes away, and we'll be back to talk to Coach Eldridge about tonight's matchup against the Dragons after this 2-minute timeout.
Finally got me, Ben.
What's that, Rick?
The Clark Street crater, the mother of all potholes. For decades, it's tormented the people of this town. They try to fill it, but it always returns. Got me good.
But State Farm's got you, too.
You ain't nothing!
Are you trash talking a pothole?
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call State Farm agent Austin Wingfield at 870-246-2162 today.
Everyone's known for something. Ours is simple. At the Southwest Auto Collection and iDriveSWA.com, you get the absolute lowest price on America's best brands. Ford, Lincoln, Chevy, GMC, Buick, and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. The best selection and the lowest prices guaranteed. And we deliver anywhere in the state, plus tires for life. It really is that simple. Visit us today, the Southwest Auto Collection, I-30 exit 78 in Arkadelphia, or online at iDriveSWA.com.
At Eccles, Thompson, and Kneebone CPA, we seek to provide accounting, tax, and financial planning services to individuals and small businesses with proficiency and integrity. Serving Arkadelphia since 1977, our staff looks forward to meeting your financial goals of today and also becoming your financial advocate for life. Visit us at 205 North 25th Street or call 246-8991 today. Eccles, Thompson, and Kneebone LTD says Go Badgers.
Welcome back to the Southern Bancorp Badger pregame show. Kickoff between the Arkadelphia Badgers and the Dewitt Dragons in the second round of the 4A state playoffs is just a few minutes away. Chris Babb visiting with J.R. Eldridge, the head coach of the Arkadelphia Badgers. And, Coach, we're not preparing for a road game tonight. Badgers do get to play at home in Arkadelphia at Badger Stadium on All Care Field. DeWitt, a 5 seed from the 4A8, upset defeated for a second time this year. Seed-wise, I guess it was an upset, but the Dragons defeated Riverview last week pretty handily in the first round up in Searcy. It was the second time that DeWitt had defeated Riverview this season, so don't know how much of a traditional upset it would have been, as most 5-1 games might be. But talk a little bit about tonight's opponent, the DeWitt Dragons, particularly on offense. We'll talk about defense later.
Offensively, they've got a really good quarterback who's done a great job throwing the football and escaping the pocket, finding open receivers, and being able to really kind of run their offense the way their coaching staff wants him to run their offense. I think they've got some good skill guys. I think they're they've come up with a system that allows them to play to their strengths. We've got to be prepared to get pressure up front. We've got to be prepared to lock on receivers on the back end and do a good job of making sure we know where those guys are. Depending on the weather, we've also got to be able to stop their run from their heavy package and be able to tackle number 19 out of the backfield when they're running the football. They also use some quarterback runs that we've got to be prepared to stop.
Seems like when you're playing against an offense that traditionally has passed the ball more so than they have run, like the Dragon offense has, your defensive line getting pressure, as you just mentioned, is going to be a big key. And you've got to feel confident with the defensive linemen you have out there and their abilities to get to the quarterback through this season to this point. They're going to be big tonight.
Yeah, our defensive line has done a great job for us. Jason Campbell, Lorenzo Lawson, Terrell Sumler, Ricky Rogers, Landon Kuhn comes in, Elijah Wheeler. All those guys have really played a huge part in our success as a defense and as a football team. And they are going to be big tonight. We've got to get pressure, and we've got to be able to come off the ball. And you always feel confident with a group like that who comes to work every day in practice and has shown up every week and really done their job. So really looking forward to them being able to go out and execute and play hard tonight.
Give us a little bit of a look at what to expect from DeWitt defensively that the Badger offense will go up against tonight.
Yeah, they're really a 4-2-5 team, versus some of their running teams. They've gone a lot of cover 3 versus some spread looks. They like their cover 4, cover 2. We've just got to be really good offensively at controlling the line of scrimmage, being able to get on blocks and stay on blocks, and getting our playmakers in space to be able to make plays. So, offensively, I always have confidence in Coach Moreland, Coach Matlock putting together a great game plan, and I've got great confidence in our offensive line and our skill guys who do a good job of executing what we're asking them to do.
Most games are, the skill guys get the stats and get the numbers, but most games are one up front. We talked about the defensive line. It seems like a physical play of your offensive line is going to be a key tonight to get your running game and your passing game going.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a key for us. Our offensive line's got to play well again. We've got a lot of confidence in those guys because they're seniors. They played a lot of football, and we look forward to them, really doing what they're supposed to do. We've had a great week of practice. And the running game is a big part of of who we are offensively. So we've relied heavily on those guys and look forward to doing that again tonight.
You're playing against the Dewitt program. The team won its first playoff game since the early 1980s. A lot of excitement in that community for their football team going to a second round. You're on the other side of that. You've got a group of guys who will be playing their 42nd football game. Talk a little bit about that mentality difference coming into a game. You've got a team that is in uncharted territories and against a team that has become regular, but you got to still be in the moment and still do what you're supposed to do.
Well, we feel like, we've in the playoff, whether it's in the playoffs or in the non-conference or in the conference season, we feel like, we've got a target on our back. So we know that we've got to be at our best because we're going to get everybody's best. And the biggest thing for us is to really focus on 1 week at a time, focus on the game at hand, and even though every now and then we want to look at that big picture goal that we have, throughout the week, we want to become laser focused on doing the things that we're coached to do, playing as hard as we can, versus our opponent and really the things that we practiced all week. So that's the biggest focus for us is just making sure that we're doing what we're coached to do and playing as hard as we can.
This is we'll wrap it up with one final question. We've talked about this a few weeks because we record this on Friday morning right now. The forecast, you have no idea. You got to play with the conditions however they are, but this is nothing different for you guys preparing to play in the rain. And mentally, you guys have been able to overcome whatever obstacles are out there. And I would guess that was another focus in practice this week.
It really was. Our philosophy has been, if it's going to rain on Friday, or we think it's going to rain on Friday, then we're going to practice in it on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, depending on when we have that opportunity to practice in it. I feel like we've tried to do everything we can to simulate wet ball when it was dry and get out in it when we could. I think our players. That's one thing I love about this team is they've got a lot of experience in situations like that. And even though, the past doesn't matter for this current game, the experience that they've had in these situations does matter because they're able to draw from those experiences, and hopefully we'll be able to do that tonight.
Kickoff between the Arkadelphia Badgers and the Dewitt Dragons just a few minutes away. Our thanks to J.R. Eldridge for taking his time out to visit with us on the Southern Bancorp Badger pregame show. We'll be back after this 2-minute timeout.
Thanks for meeting me here.
No problem. Farm Bureau Insurance has local agents making this kind of thing real easy.
Well, your auto insurance has saved me a lot on old Becky here.
Harold! Your dog swallowed the remote again.
Who's that?
Older Becky.
Oh. Ugh.
Real service, real people. That's Farm Bureau Insurance.
Call Clark County Farm Bureau today at 870-246-4554. Turner Rogers Manning & Plyler CPA is a longtime supporter of the Arkadelphia Public School District. Turner Rogers Manning & Plyler has established a reputation for providing clients with outstanding services that include auditing, accounting, and tax and business consulting. Contact Turner Rogers Manning & Plyler today at 870-246-4563 or by visiting them at 305 Professional Park Drive in Arkadelphia. Turner Rogers Manning & Plyler says, "Go Badgers!"
We are live and ready for action tonight. Arkadelphia is set now to take on Dewitt. Dewitt won the toss, elected to receive. They have a high-powered offense that they're anxious to get onto the field. We've had rain all day in Arkadelphia, but it's just about stopped now. A little bit of a mist still coming down, but it's very, very light. And Arkadelphia will play on a wet field, but one that is free of mud. So we should see maybe a little bit of slipping, but not too much damage to the offenses tonight, although they might be throwing a wet football, and DeWitt loves to throw the football. So we'll see how that will work out for Arkadelphia and DeWitt tonight. Arkadelphia is set to kick off. This is Jeff Roots. Along with me is Jack Bennington, and Chris Babb's going to join us also, as he's also our quarterback of the live stream tonight. We know that tonight we might have some fans from back in DeWitt, but a large number have come to Arkadelphia. This is a very exciting game for the Dragons, Chris, as they have made it to the second round of the playoffs.
It is, Jeff. This is the first time since 1981 that DeWitt has won a playoff game. They're excited. Their fans are excited. Exciting time to be a Dragon. The Badgers are also ready to get going. It's a kickoff. It should be a good game tonight.
And here we go. Arkadelphia is set to kick off. We're going to have to clean that lens from time to time as there's a little bit of a mist still falling, but not bad at all. The rain has subsided for the most part, and we're going to have a good football game tonight. Here's the kickoff from Arkadelphia. It is returnable. It's going to be allowed to bounce at the 10-yard line, return from the 8-yard line up to the 20. Here's a big return. He's to the 30, and he might go to the 50-yard line, to the 40. He's down the sideline to the 20, and Arkadelphia will not catch him. This is a touchdown for DeWitt on the kickoff return. Jonta Wright with a big, big play.
Wow. And what a play by DeWitt, as we see literally just a punch in the mouth from the Dragons at the start of the game, just taking the kickoff all the way back. A huge hole opened up. The blocking was really good that time from the Dragons, and they took it all the way to the house. Badgers down for the first time at home in a long time here at the start of this game.
Arkadelphia just simply had a gap there on the kickoff coverage and did not recover from it as he really went through a huge hole, Jack, and nobody got close to him.
Yeah, that was pretty incredible. The size of the hole that was opening up. I mean, the receiver obviously knew exactly where to go with the size of that hole, just going right through it, and there wasn't a single Badger that was able to get in the way and stop him, and as a result, the Badgers now find themselves down.
Now, DeWitt will go for two, and this is a normal procedure for them. They don't have much of a kicking game. They're going to go for two, and they've got a very fine quarterback in Seth Courtney who can run and also can pass. One of the taller players on this team. He's the coach's son. Pass across the middle, incomplete. They fail on the two-point conversion. So after the opening kickoff, it's DeWitt 6, Arkadelphia 0, 11:47 left. We are in the first quarter, just getting underway, and we'll keep it right here, Jack, to simply say, and we're going to take plenty of spots tonight for our wonderful sponsors, but maybe not just 13 seconds into the football game, as we'll keep it right here and talk about the fact that Arkadelphia now has taken that blow. They got to bounce back offensively, maybe even on the kickoff return.
Yeah, I mean, that is, the exact wrong way that you want to start any game. If you're, especially the home team, the Badgers coming in, the favorites, obviously, the number one seed in the playoffs, coming in, obviously wanting to start up the game strong, and DeWitt coming out and thinking the exact same thing in that time, able to get the touchdown on the kickoff return. But now it's all about this Badger offense being able to come out and respond. I mean, that's exactly what you're going to need, and this team that has gone through so much and played so well this season, really going to look for that tonight as well.
Now, it's not a strong kicking game for DeWitt, and so an onside kick is altogether possible. Zach Armstrong is out there, and he was practicing his onside kick before the game started.
As were the Badger upbacks. You see Sammy Hawthorne lined up on about the 40-yard line, and he is lining up as if he is going to have an onside kick. Sammy Hawthorne and Kyron Harrison were both practicing fielding the onside kicks, and they're on the side that the kicker is facing right now.
It's going to be a wet football as they try to recover it. Here's the kick. It's a high sky kick, but a short one. Fair catch called for at the 39-yard line. So Arkadelphia does at least have good field position.
Yeah, I mean, the Badgers coming in now going to be starting at around the 40-yard line. Now the offense going to have to really come out and respond. Like I just talked about a minute ago, I'm really going to need to come out, and we're going to see, I guess, how this DeWitt defense is going to fare tonight. But obviously, the first drive of the game is vastly important, especially now being down at the beginning of the game.
They did spot the ball exactly at the 40-yard line, so Arkadelphia starts 60 yards away from trying to tie or perhaps take the lead in this game. After the opening kickoff, the Badgers trail 6-0. Cannon Turner at quarterback will fake a pass and run the ball to the left side. He's got 5 yards, 7, 8 yards, still running. They're going to knock him down short of a first down, but a good gain on first down.
Yeah, good run that time from Cannon Turner. Just like we've seen so many times this season, just tucking the ball and running. A lot of times, defenses have to be careful because his arm is really good, but also his legs are really good as well. And that time, deciding to take it up the middle, able to get good yardage that play on first down.
On 2nd down and 2, Arkadelphia lines up in the pistol formation. They're going to run the ball. The run up the middle will get a first down. Here's Harrison. He's going to make it up near the 45-yard line of Dewitt. That's the first run of the night for Kyron Harrison, who comes into the night as really an outstanding back in the state of Arkansas. I mean, Kyron Harrison has 1,300 yards rushing this year.
Yeah, I think 30 touchdowns as well. Like I saw, I think it's the state best across the entire state of Arkansas, which is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, just the player that's put up outrageous numbers this season. You kind of hoping you're expecting that same thing tonight.
First down at the 46-yard line. Arkadelphia will hand off again. Harrison avoids a tackle in the backfield, looking for space. He'll find a little bit up to the 40-yard line, maybe the 39. A good run. It looked like they might catch him in the backfield, but Chrissy did a good job of avoiding that tackle and was bounced down at the 39. So that's a nice pickup of 7.
Yeah, patience that time from Kyron as he got outside. Then he waited for his blockers to reset and was able to get good positive yardage on first down.
2nd down, 3 yards to go. Arkadelphia moving the ball well, blocking well. Offensive line looking strong tonight against Dewitt, but Dewitt has a 6-0 lead as a result of a touchdown on a kickoff return to open the game. 2 running backs in the formation. They're going to hand off to Cannon Turner. Here's Turner around the left end. He's up to the 30, to the 25, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10. Cannon Turner's in the end zone. Touchdown, Arkadelphia.
And what a way to respond that time. Cannon Turner getting the call on the plays. We're going to see the replay here. Buster Thomas at quarterback, handing the ball off to Turner, going out to the left side. A great block from Kyron Harrison, and then all the way to the house. Touchdown call that time. Good job from Cannon Turner getting the Badgers back in this game, and potentially could take the lead here.
Good blocking all the way down the field, and really great running on wet turf by Cannon Turner. Now the extra point could put Arkadelphia ahead. Here is Ethan Savage with the extra point attempt. High snap, but he got it down. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So Arkadelphia 7, DeWitt 6, still 10:05 left. We are in the first quarter, and we'll be back with more Badger football in the playoffs in 30 seconds.
Angry Goat Media is home to Follow the Badgers. Get your business booming today with the exceptional web design and development, photography, video production, and graphic design services. Angry Goat Media is the perfect company to get the job done. We're always ready to customize our services to your business requirements, needs, and budget. Angry Goat Media. Innovation, not imitation.
Cannon Turner with the touchdown. 2-6 with 10:05 left in the first quarter. So now Arkadelphia will kick off, and they're going to try probably to do a better job of hemming in Jonta Wright, who had a 93-yard kickoff return for a touchdown to put DeWitt ahead.
Yeah, Jeff, we would like to mention for those of you who are watching, we know some of you are listening on KSWH 102.5. For those of you watching, we do have 2 cameras. They're going to switch back and forth to try to get you the best view we can. The drizzle and the mist that is coming in is blowing to our camera deck, so there's a little bit of difference in color, but we're going to try to give you the best one we can.
And the kickoff will be blown dead, and so we'll come back and try that kickoff again in a moment. And we want to tell you it's not raining hard, so if you're in Arkadelphia thinking about coming out to see the game, feel free to come. It is not a hard rain at all, but it's just enough mist to mess up a camera lens a little bit and keep us from getting you the normal view that you would see. And yet with 2 cameras and hard-working folks up in the weather, we're going to have a good view for you tonight.
Would like to thank Carson Lewis and Franco for their camera work tonight, and we will be taking periodic breaks. You might see a hand periodically coming through to wipe the front of the screen, but we'll do the best we can.
The penalty was on Arkadelphia, so the Badgers will kick off this time from the 35-yard line, and Savage is set for the kickoff. Once again, deep is Jonta Wright, who had the 93-yard kickoff return for a touchdown, and Now we're set for a shorter high kickoff that is returnable. Jonta Wright's going to come up and pick it up at the 25. He returns it to the 30, but he's hit at the 31 and dragged down. Arkadelphia's coverage just much better that time.
And that's exactly what you need to see that time, responding, not only on offense but also on special teams. That ball really only being able to return for just a couple of yards that time. DeWitt's going to have the ball now with a pretty decent field position, but now we get to see this DeWitt offense like we talked about, a pass-heavy offense, what the Badgers really haven't seen a whole lot of, at least in the conference play this season, so definitely going to be a little bit of a different game for this defense to think about tonight.
So, for the first time, DeWitt's offense is on the field. They already have 6 points tonight, but Arkadelphia leads at 7-6, and now DeWitt with a high-powered offense comes out on the field.
You got Arkadelphia. Sorry, Jeff.
Seth Courtney at quarterback, and he'll take the snap and roll to his right. He'll throw downfield, and he'll throw an incomplete pass. His receiver fell down.
Yeah, receiver fell down, and also you have in the safety. Sorry, I talked over you, but Cannon Turner running the safety position for the Badgers starting out tonight, expecting DeWitt to pass the ball more.
They are a passing team, no doubt, and Courtney has a good arm. He's going to have to throw a football that will be a little bit wet tonight. It's not a pouring rain again, but enough mist that it's going to keep the turf a little bit wet and keep the football wet for Mr. Courtney, the passer. His brother is one of his favorite targets. He's only a sophomore, but he is a tall player himself. The Courtney brothers have some size. Back to pass is Courtney's under pressure. He's under a lot of pressure from Rogers. Rogers eventually hits him, but he lets go of the ball, and it's batted down and incomplete.
And that was very, very close that time from being intercepted. That time the quarterback, Courtney, just trying to escape Ricky Rogers, and he does. It has to roll all the way out to the far sideline, just heaving the ball up close to the first down marker, I think a little bit past it, but that ball kind of just bounced in the air for a few seconds and then finally fell to the ground before anyone could get their hands on it.
Pressure on the quarterback is going to be a key for the Badgers tonight. Defensive line did a great job there. Expect to see some blitzing from the linebackers, some stunts and things like that to try to throw that offensive line off. Big play that time. They're going to try to come up with one more as well here on 3rd and 10.
We'll keep an eye on the defensive end. Jason Campbell comes in with 6 sacks. Ricky Rogers comes in with 4 sacks on the season. They're going to throw the ball and overthrow the ball on 3rd down and 10. His intended receiver was actually open, but he just missed him. That was Terrence Ticey.
I think there might have been a little bit of miscommunication that time on the Badger defense. I think probably avoided a big opportunity there for DeWitt, as I think there was an open receiver that time on our near side, but I think the secondary that time had a little bit of miscommunication on who was covering who on the play.
And Ticey had strong words for his quarterback as he left the field, but Mr. Courtney's going to stay on the field punt.
Arkadelphia got lucky because they were misaligned for a little bit, and if that pass had been on target, that would have been a big gain, at very least a big first down.
Now, if you're the underdog, you might do something crazy like go for it on 4th and 10, but they won't do it this time. The quarterback, who is the punter, will put the ball in the air. It's going to bounce at the 45, roll down to the Arkadelphia 40, all the way down to the Arkadelphia 33-yard line. So it turns out to be a good punt where yardage is concerned, even if it wasn't an attractive punt, Jack, but it does give Arkadelphia a nice first down.
Yeah, I mean, just switching the field, that's really all you can ask for now. Badgers going to be in their own territory, but not the best punt like we talked about. Kicking game, not great for the Dragons, but nonetheless, the Badgers are going to start inside their own 35, and this offense coming out once again, like we saw on that touchdown play with Buster Thomas coming in at quarterback. Kind of hoping to see a little bit more of that tonight as we see the 3 playmakers in the backfield switching around.
That's correct. On the touchdown, Cannon Turner was lined up at running back instead of quarterback. Here he's the quarterback, but he's going to run the ball to the right side, and he's got good yardage. He picked up almost a first down. Let's see where they spot him out. It is going to be a first down. He didn't step out until he got just about to the 45-yard line, so a good run for a first down by Cannon Turner.
And good awareness by him that time, staying in bounds long enough to get the first down, just keeping his head down and running the football on the sideline, getting the first down, and another big play on first down.
Cannon Turner at quarterback, Kyron Harrison to his right. He's going to hand off to Harrison. Harrison goes to his left and will break a tackle. He's down to the 45, to the 40, 35, 30, and he's out of bounds at the 28-yard line.
And another big play once again. The Badgers, so many big plays so far tonight on the offensive end. That time, Kyron Harrison, a huge hole opened up on the left side, able to get the call and run past the first down and get a lot more yards that time, almost inside the 30-yard line, I believe. But a good play from him, and the Badgers now are driving once again.
They're going to spot it at the 29-yard line, as it turns out, but a good run by Harrison and a first down at 10. Now, 3 backs in the backfield, and they're going to snap it, and this is Turner going to his left. He's got good yardage, 8, maybe 9 yards on the carry, up near the 20-yard line.
The Badgers, I want to believe, have gotten at least 5 or 6 yards on every single play that they've ran on the offense so far tonight. I mean, just a whole lot of holes opening up. Good job that time. Once again, the offensive line really proving how dominant they are as they just kind of kept their blocks and allowed their runner that time to get more positive yards. That time, Cannon Turner just a couple yards away from another first.
That was an 8-yard gain, 2nd down and 2 from the 21-yard line. Ricky Rogers Jr. lining up behind the right tackle. They're going to option it to the right side. Hand off to Harrison. He's got some yardage. A first down inside the 10-yard line. First down and goal.
And it just keeps on coming. Kyron Harrison once again getting out to the right side. DeWitt really doesn't have an answer right now on defense, and I mean they especially need to be careful. Cannon Turner and Kyron Harrison both firing on all cylinders, running the football so far tonight, and now the Badgers inside the 10.
Arkadelphia is controlling the line of scrimmage from the 9-yard line. Running play. This is Harrison to the 5, runs over a defender and falls down at the 2-yard line. That's a nice gain on first down and goal to get all the way to the 2. Now the Badgers have 3 more plays to get the 2 yards and the touchdown.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think I'd expect anything less than Kyron Harrison getting the football here. The powerful bowling ball of a running back that he is, now lining up to the left of Cannon Turner here on 2nd down.
He has 30 rushing touchdowns, but Turner will keep it this time, and he walks in. Touchdown, Arkadelphia, and the Badgers have stretched out their lead. Now, it was 7-6. Arkadelphia goes to a 13-6 lead, and they'll go for the extra point, 1-point conversion, to try to make it now an 8-point lead.
You saw in that replay there just a few seconds ago. I mean, that was just too easy for Cannon Turner, just following his blockers that time. DeWitt, not having any chance of getting off their blockers, and Cannon Turner getting a touchdown for the Badgers tonight. Too easy that time.
Extra point attempt is up, and it is good. And so it's Arkadelphia 14, DeWitt 6. 7:42 left in the first quarter. Cannon Turner has 2 touchdowns tonight, and Arkadelphia leads it by a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. DeWitt will return a kickoff when we come back with more Badger football in the playoffs in 1 minute.
Brian Bridges Roofing would like to thank the Arkadelphia community for its loyalty over the years. Operating in Arkadelphia for 47 years, the Bridges family has owned and operated the business and has built great relationships with local businesses such as Hardman Lumber and local insurance companies such as Austin Wingfield State Farm, Chad Kesterson Shelter Insurance, and Clark County Farm Bureau Insurance. We also send a special Go Badgers to our favorite Badger, our little brother, number 22, Trey Bledsoe. Go Badgers from Brian Bridges Roofing, 870-245-8268.
The J.R. Eldridge Show, your local source for in-depth discussion of Arkadelphia Badger football. Join the coach of the Arkansas 4A state champion with host Caleb Bird as they recap last week's game, highlight next week's opponent, and give you all the latest conference standings. Tune in to the J.R. Eldridge Show on the Arkadelphia Public Schools YouTube channel and on Sudden League Cable, Channel 10, Tuesday through Thursday nights at 7. The J.R. Eldridge Show is produced by Ouachita Baptist University students.
Brian Bridges Roofing would like to thank the Arkadelphia.
Here's the kickoff, returnable for DeWitt. They're going to have a short return, though. Oh, here's a good block and a return over the 40-yard line. Arkadelphia kicked it short. DeWitt still got a little bit of a return, and now the offense comes back onto the field for DeWitt. I'll tell you what, Chris, it seems to me that DeWitt will probably try to throw some short, quick passes because when he stays in the pocket very long, he's going to be chased by a couple of good defensive ends. But they did have a receiver or two open on the first possession moments ago, just couldn't throw enough completions to get a first down.
They did. Arkadelphia is going to be ready for that. The corners, you see Trey Bledsoe lined up on the left side. Lucas Witherspoon on the right side. Keelan Nelson and Cannon Turner are the safeties. No back shotgun set for DeWitt.
The quarterback, Courtney, does throw it into the flat. Quick pass. He's got a receiver up to the 45, 47, 48-yard line. The tackle's going to drive him forward about 3 yards. So there's a gain, and the first catch of the night for their best receiver, Jonta Wright, who came in with 67 catches on the year and 1,000 yards receiving.
Like we talked about earlier, this is going to be a pass-heavy offense from DeWitt, and that time getting their first completion of the night. Courtney is the quarterback now. Good play that time on first down, connecting, like you said, with his favorite receiver, and now a second and short, a good opportunity for them.
Yeah, he got 8 yards on the run after the catch, and so from the 50-yard line, it's 2nd down and 2 for DeWitt. Courtney, the quarterback, has 4 receivers in the formation. He'll throw it out to the flat to the right side, and here's a good run after the catch up to the 40, and the tackle made by Arkadelphia at the 35-yard line. Well, he's got speed, so they don't want to play him too close and let him get behind the defensive backs, but he's been able to run for yardage after those short catches.
Well, they got him on the wide side of the field and got him in space, a quick catch out there. That's going to be how they're going to get outside. They're not going to try to run much on Arkadelphia. They're going to try to get the ball outside to their athletes in space. They line up. Now you see Wright come over to the left side, which is the near side, the wide side of the field.
First down at 10 at the Arkadelphia 37-yard line. Another pass to Wright, and this time he will drop the ball. Now, Arkadelphia wants to pick it up, but it's an incompletion, and it's right in line with where we are, and that's a correct call. It was an incomplete pass as it went off the fingertips of Wright, so it's second down and 10.
Yeah, like we talked about a little bit, might be a slippery night, at least for the start of the game. I think the rain has pretty much subsided, but for the most part of the day it has been raining, and that time the ball just slipping out of the fingers of the receiver. Thankfully for Arkadelphia, receiver would have had at least a couple yards of space to run into, but nonetheless an incompletion on the play.
Same formation. Jonta Wright is in the slot to the left side, the wide side of the field. The quarterback, Courtney, wants to pass. Now he's under pressure, and he just falls down. The play didn't develop as he wanted, and he just fell down at about the 45. They might say the 44. They are going to say the 44-yard line, but that's still a loss of 9 yards.
Yeah, not at all what you want, especially if you're Dewitt. That time the quarterback just slipping and falling right on cue, talking about the slippery field, just falling to the ground. You could see a little frustration from him as he kind of just threw the ball on the ground after the play was blown dead in frustration. But now a third and very long after a good start to their drive, a huge play for them to try to stay in this ball game.
Yeah, make it a loss of 8, so it's third down and 18 yards to go. 2 running backs in the formation, but I would think they would throw it. Back to pass is Courtney. He'll throw a short pass. It is complete. The run with the ball will take it up to the original line of scrimmage and another 2 yards, but it's fourth down now and 8 yards to go.
Yeah, good play that time from Dewitt. Arkadelphia brought a lot of pressure on the play, just trying to not give Courtney any time at all to let the receivers go downfield that time, just dumping it out to the right side. The receiver able to get a couple more yards and get past the original line of scrimmage for the original first down play, but now a fourth and long, and with them being in Badger Tour, you expect them to go for it here.
They'll spot it at the 36, so it is fourth down, 9 yards to go. Courtney in the shotgun has 1 running back and 4 receivers in the formation. Under pressure from Arkadelphia, he backs up to the 50. He fires it down the sideline, and it's incomplete. Arkadelphia takes over. Even if that had been intercepted, Jack, it's still Arkadelphia's ball. They really made a good play by just keeping that from being complete, and Arkadelphia takes over at its own 36.
Yeah, I think that was Sammy Hawthorne that caught the ball, but he was out of bounds that time on the play, which is actually works out better for Arkadelphia, as the Arkadelphia is going to have better field position here as a turnover on downs. The Badgers get the ball back, and a huge opportunity for him to extend their lead.
Every time they've done anything other than just throw a quick hitch out to Wright, they've had trouble having for Courtney to go to a second option or even let anything develop. The defensive line putting really good pressure on Courtney on 3 of those plays on that drive.
That was more or less a screen pass, but there's still just not enough opportunity to get the ball to the receiver because Courtney was backing up as he threw it. So, first down Arkadelphia, 2 running backs, a little change in the formation, and a running play in good yardage. 10 yards, 11 yards on the carry.
Fumble on the play, I believe. Yep.
A fumble at the end of the play. You're correct, and DeWitt will have the possession. That was a good run, but a fumble at the end, and we might see some turnovers tonight because the ball is going to be wet as they play. It's not a heavy rain again, but a mist continues. You can see that in the camera, and it probably contributed to that loose ball at the end of the run. So DeWitt will take over. Offense back on the field at the Arkadelphia 48-yard line.
And not at all what you want. At that time, the Badgers just giving the ball back to DeWitt in pretty much the same field position now. Going to have the ball in Badger territory once again.
Jonta Wright, the star receiver for DeWitt, is in the slot to the left side, the wide side of the field. I wouldn't be surprised to see him throw it. He does throw it to Wright, and Wright can't reach it. Incomplete off of his fingertips at 2nd and 10.
Yeah, once again, a missed opportunity that time from DeWitt. The ball just thrown a little bit high that time. I can't really blame that entirely on the smaller receiver, as the ball was just a little bit out of reach for him, just able to get his fingertips on it, but incomplete pass, and now second down for them.
Well, they've had trouble with that pass on occasion, but they've completed it for first downs at least twice as well as they have been able to throw the ball into the flat. That's been their best play. Here's a running play, and it's just not going to go anywhere. All over it is the defensive line, Ricky Rogers Jr. included. Loss of 1 on the play. It's 3rd and 11.
Yeah, and I mean, we talked about earlier, they're not going to run the ball that much tonight, and I think that's a big reason why that right there. Not a huge running game for them, and when they do, you got to deal with the defensive line in the front 7 of the Arkadelphia Badgers, which has just been absolutely ferocious all throughout the season. And you hear those bells, you know it's a huge 3rd down play here for Dewitt.
From the Arkadelphia 49-yard line, they've gone backwards by a yard on 2 plays on this possession after recovering an Arkadelphia fumble. From the 49-yard line, they'll fake a handoff, throw across the middle. It's overthrown, and it's incomplete. 4th down and 11, and this might be not 4-down territory, Jack. They might just punt the ball down the field.
Yeah, I mean, only 10 yards further back than they were before. You see the quarterback getting some kind of play on the sideline. Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't be that surprised if they decided to go for it here. With them being in the game right now and definitely going to want to try to stay in the game, knowing with the big attack from Arkadelphia.
He overthrew his brother, Dax Courtney, who stands I think he's listed as at 6'5". That's you overthrow a 6'5".
Yeah, they've completed that in the backyard many times, but not just then. So on 3rd and 11, another pass. Back to pass, he's under pressure. He's hit, but he escapes. Now Courtney wants to run. He's got a little bit of room, but not nearly enough. He's going to be hit by Hawthorne and then driven down at the 50-yard line. Arkadelphia takes over at the 50. Now the Badgers turn the ball over at their own 48-yard line. They send the defense on the field. They get the ball back at the 50. That's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that time, the Badgers should have got the quarterback down a lot earlier in the play. A couple missed tackles from them. The bigger quarterback, Courtney, able to get away and move out to the left side, but eventually taken down that time. Finally, good pursuit, though, overall from the Badger defensive line. Has really had their way so far tonight with that DeWitt offensive line. And now, once again, the Badgers are going to have the ball at about midfield here, and the offense is able to get another chance on the field.
We think it's midfield. Let me clean the window and see what down it is and where the ball is. All right, 1st down and 10, Arkadelphia, 50-yard line. Arkadelphia has 2 running backs. Thomas at quarterback hands it off to Harrison this time. He's up to the 45, to the 41, to the 40. 1st down and 10, Badgers.
Yeah, and Kyron Harrison getting the ball that time. Buster Thomas in at quarterback. Kyron Harrison on the left, Cannon Turner on the right. Kyron Harrison getting the handoff that time. Another 1st down run for him. I think they're going to stay in that same formation here. Really dangerous 3-headed dragon now in the backfield.
Oh, 3-headed dragon. Nice play on words there. At some point, I expect Buster Thomas to have a keeper on one of these after he's handing off so many times.
He's playing quarterback. Now they're going to use Jay-Sean Davis as the running back on the right side and hand it to him. This is Davis. He cuts it upfield to the 35-30, to the 20, to the 10. Davis, touchdown, Arkadelphia.
A big play that time. Jay-Sean Davis, like we talked about, the deception with Kyron Harrison and Cannon Turner. Now Jay-Sean Davis comes to the backfield, as we see on the replay, just getting the handoff, and great blocking, might I say, from Cannon Turner and Kyron Harrison, allowing the play to open up, and Jay-Sean Davis, the sophomore receiver, going in for the touchdown and getting another score for the Badgers tonight.
Well, that's a new wrinkle. You say you think you can contain Turner and then Harrison, and then you hand the ball off to Davis and let him run in from 35 out.
Extra point is up, and it is good. Arkadelphia 21, DeWitt 6, 3:19, I should say, left in the first quarter. And we'll be back with more Arkadelphia action in the playoffs in 30 seconds.
Price & Company Insurance and Bonds in Arkadelphia is a 100% fully independent agency, meaning that you'll be working with insurance agents who have an in-depth knowledge of multiple insurance products, companies, and guidelines, not just one. Contact Price & Company Insurance and Bonds today for your needs at 1015 Caddo Street in Arkadelphia or by calling 870-246-5573. Price & Company Insurance and Bonds says, "Go Badgers!"
Arkadelphia is set to kick off to DeWitt after the Badgers scored their 3rd touchdown tonight. Jay-Sean Davis, the sophomore, made a big 40-yard run on a run to the left side. 3 backs in the formation, running formation that time for Arkadelphia. New formation with Davis on the right side, and he made a beautiful run for that touchdown. And now DeWitt will line up with Jonta Davis set to return the kickoff. He is responsible for the only score of the night for DeWitt. It came on the opening kickoff. So we'll see if the Arkadelphia Badgers will kick it short, try to keep it away from him. Here's Savage. He's going to kick it high, short, and it will be taken on one bounce at the 21, returned to the 25 and out of bounds. So not much opportunity for a return that time, and the defense is back on the field.
Yeah, now the defense, like you said, going to get another chance, kind of have had their way with DeWitt's offense tonight. Important to note that the offense for DeWitt has not scored any points tonight. When they got their first touchdown tonight, like we saw in the beginning of the game, it was the kickoff return, but Courtney, the quarterback Courtney, and the rest of the DeWitt offense so far have not had a whole lot of success tonight in terms of scoring. And now even deeper in the end zone than we've seen it all so far tonight. Really important for them on this drive.
I think they'll go back to that short pass to their best receiver, Jonta Wright. But they have missed that pass a couple of times. Let's see if they go back to it, because that avoids the pressure on the quarterback. They do throw it into the flat, and there's a good run after the catch, up to the 30, 35, to the 40, 41-yard line. A successful pass out to the flat for Jonta Wright, and he picks up a first down for DeWitt.
Yeah, the speedy receiver, Wright, getting the ball, and we've seen tonight Courtney has been trying to get him the ball several times, been unsuccessful in a couple of those, but that time getting the ball to him and allowing him to run down the field on the sideline and be able to pick up a first down, and a big play for them to get their offense going now and starting on the first play of the drive.
DeWitt at its own 41-yard line after that completion. They'll send, still in the slot, but now to the right side, wide side of the field, Jonta Wright. That has been their best play offensively. This time they'll hand off. A little bit of room, but not much. Now he gives up a yard, and he's going to be scrambled and driven down by 4 Badgers. So it's a very short gain. They might just give him the line of scrimmage. Second down and long.
Yeah, a big play that time from the Badger defense. And you just look at the comparison in size from the Badger defensive line and front 7 comparing to DeWitt, a whole lot bigger than them, and that time just driving the running back further and further back, giving them back pretty much to the line of scrimmage. But nonetheless, this size advantage that Arkadelphia has against DeWitt might play big implications on the game.
A face mask call against Arkadelphia. We're just now seeing that. But a face mask call against Arkadelphia is going to move the football 5 yards. So it's a 5-yard penalty, and that'll put the ball at the 44-yard line. 44-yard line after the penalty. It should be second down, I believe, guys. Box still says first, but it should be second down, and they're going to run the ball. And they're going to make nothing. And big time tackle in the backfield, and the quarterback's going to lose yardage. He's a talented quarterback, but he's frustrated right now, Jack. Seth Courtney tackled for a loss.
Yeah, that time I think it was Jason Campbell, the good man that he is, getting the tackle on the play. You love to see that from the senior, getting the quarterback down, dragging him down by his legs. I think we're going to mark it as third down now for DeWitt, but a huge play on the defensive end for the Badgers there, and now DeWitt with a chance to respond.
And now they're marking it as second down and 10, but we think it's third down since they seem to have counted the play and moved the 5-yard penalty after the play. Let's see. The box scoreboard both still say second down. 10 yards to go. We know that. Now the officials want to talk about it. Maybe that's the discussion. What down is it? The officials will talk about it, and I have to believe that's what the discussion is. So we'll get a definitive call on what down it is here in just a moment. It's 10 yards to go. We know that. We'll just see what down it is. Long discussion, and they are not going to change the box. They're going to keep it as second down.
Great.
They lost yardage, ran a play, lost yardage, 5-yard penalty, and didn't change the down. Running play is going to gain yardage up to the 47-yard line. There's a gain. Third down coming now.
Yeah, now what some of us might believe shouldn't be third down is third down, and a big opportunity now for DeWitt, a third and short that time. Their first really positive running play so far tonight, just a draw play on second down, really caught the defense of the Badgers off guard, but now a big third down play. Expect the quarterback Courtney to try to give the ball to one of his receivers.
On third down, Courtney at quarterback can run the ball, but he hasn't had much success doing that tonight. He's got a good running back next to him, but they've not tried to run very much against the Arkadelphia defense. Now he's going to keep it. He'll run it himself, and he'll find a hole and make a first down up the Arkadelphia 46-yard line. Now it's first down, and we can all agree on what down it is. They'll have the ball at the Arkadelphia 46.
And not what you want to see that time. The quarterback, Courtney, catching the defense by surprise, I think. Following his blockers, a good job that time from the offensive line, and able to pick up just a couple yards, but able still to pick up the first down, getting into Badger territory once again. A good play from him, and able to get the Dragons a first down.
He was very patient waiting for his blocking to set up, and it set up enough to get the first down. So on 1st and 10, he'll back up, and he wants to throw a screen pass, and it is a big tackle as soon as the ball is caught. No gain on the play. Arkadelphia, I believe it's Cole Turner that made the hit as soon as the receiver caught the ball on the screen pass to the middle of the field.
I think as soon as the ball was snapped, the Badgers knew what was about to happen. The defensive line decided to stop pursuing, and finally the ball did come in to the receiver, Cole Turner, the first one on the scene to make the play, and I think that's going to be into the first quarter.
That is the end of the first quarter. The score, Arkadelphia 21 and the Dewitt Dragons 6. We'll be back with second quarter action once we take a break and clean our cameras off. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Citizens Bank was established by a group of local business leaders who shared a vision of creating a bank that would be committed to serving working people. Over the years, we have expanded our services, locations, and technology, but we make every effort to stay true to our roots. Citizens Bank is owned by local shareholders and governed by a local board of directors, most of whom live, work, and invest alongside our customers. We continue to take pride in a heritage of independence that honors the vision of our founders, and we remain dedicated to the financial progress of the people we serve.
Doctors Gary and Rob Rucker are proud sponsors of this Arkadelphia Badger broadcast. Dr. Gary and Rob Rucker supporting the Badgers since 1996.
Arkadelphia on defense. DeWitt trying to drive and make this a closer game. Arkadelphia leads at 21-6. The only score for DeWitt was on the opening kickoff. They returned it 93 yards for a touchdown. But now they've got a bit of a drive going. A couple of first downs on this drive at the Arkadelphia 46-yard line. It is second down and 10. Here's a running play, and Courtney's got some room on the far side. He'll run out of bounds with the first down at the Arkadelphia 32-yard line. Beautiful call as everybody stayed on the right hash mark, and the quarterback ran to the sideline and got some yardage down the left side.
At that time, just catching the Badger defense off guard. You really hate to see that. Just the quarterback getting out to the left side, and really no one's out there to stop him, able to run out of bounds for a first down and keep the chains moving.
Quickly to the line of scrimmage, first down and 10 for the Dragons. They're going to hand off a little bit of room, but not much. Spinning and trying to make yardage is their fine running back who just didn't have anywhere to go. That is Josh Dabner. He averages 5 yards per carry. He didn't get any that time.
Yeah, that time not the best play. That time the defensive line for the Badgers really killing the game so far tonight, and that time just plugging the hole is exactly what you like to see from them, getting the stop. The running game hasn't been great tonight for DeWitt. A couple times a little bit of mistakes from the Badgers side, but that time a good job from them.
Ball at the 32-yard line. It is second down and 10. Working on keeping our cameras clear, and we're working on keeping the window in front of us clear as well. Here's a run to the right side. Courtney is hitting the backfield, and is going to be dragged down with a loss this time. Watched Arkadelphia really up to the call, and Kyron Harrison made the tackle.
Yeah, Kyron Harrison, the star running back, as we know, also the former, and I guess probably still, could be All-State linebacker, doing a good job that time, making the play, a good tackle by him, and now a long third down opportunity for DeWitt in Badger territory, but nonetheless a big play for them in this second quarter.
Third down, 13 yards to go for the Dragons. They're going to send Jonta Wright to the left side of the field. He's a probable target. He's been their best weapon for sure tonight. Courtney at quarterback looks to his left, looks downfield. He'll throw a pass, and it's almost intercepted and incomplete. He went to right, but it was well covered.
Yeah, and now with that third down miscue from DeWitt, that time good coverage from the Badgers and good pursuit on the defensive line, pushing the quarterback out to the left side, forcing a bad throw from him. And now it's going to be a long fourth down play, and it'll be interesting to see if they decide to go for it now.
at the Arkadelphia 35. They're going to go for it, but they need 13 yards. It's 4th down and 13 DeWitt. They're going to line up. It would appear that Jonta Wright is going to be their best target, and he's going to line up and look at the quarterback as he lines up in the slot to the left side of the field, the wide side. Courtney looks to his left, looks for Wright. Now he's in trouble. He wants to run. Now he'll stop and fire it deep, but that's well covered, and it's incomplete at the 5-yard line.
There is a flag down, though, on the play. I think it might be against DeWitt. Probably going to be a holding call, but I think nonetheless the Badgers are going to get the ball back right here.
Yeah, if it's holding, Arkadelphia will just decline and take the ball. And it does appear that the DeWitt defense is coming onto the field. Arkadelphia's offense is gathering on the sideline. So the call was against DeWitt. It is declined, and Arkadelphia once again is held on 4th down. They've done that a few times tonight. The defense playing really very, very well.
The defense is playing really, really well. Like you said, good coverage by them so far tonight. Like we talked about, this Badger defense really has done a great job tonight. Obviously, a special teams mistake at the beginning of the game cost the team the shutout in the first couple seconds of the game, but now the offense is able to come out and try and make an impact even more so in this game.
And this is Thomas at quarterback, 2 running backs behind him, and behind the left tackle is a blocking back. He's going to run the ball, and Thomas will find some room. Boy, it didn't look like he had much, but he picked up 5, maybe 6 anyway.
I'm going to be honest, I had no idea who had the ball for a couple seconds there. You see Kyron Harrison running with the ball, you see Ken Turner, you think running with the ball, but that time Buster Thomas, exactly what the Badgers want is that misdirection and just that uncertainty of who has the ball, and Buster Thomas getting the call on the play, getting a couple yards, and a really good play that time, first down running the ball.
Logan Becker lines up wide to the right side. 2 receivers also to the right side. 1 back this time, and Turner back at quarterback. Here's a running play for Harrison. He's got room. He's to the 45, 50, to the 40, to the 30. 1 man to beat, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Arkadelphia.
Another house call that time. Kyron Harrison, the running back that we've seen perform so much this season, now getting the call once again. Handoff going to the left side, down the field, and by the time he hits the 50, there's no one in front of him running all the way down the field. DeWitt, defender, not able to catch up with them. The Badgers extend their lead once again. A great play from them. Really just having an outstanding game so far tonight, and Kyron Harrison getting another touchdown for the Badgers.
Savage is on for the extra point attempt. He is perfect so far on this rainy night. And this kick is up, and the kick is perfect. Arkadelphia 28, DeWitt 6. 9:29 left in the first half. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
What if a bank didn't just make home loans, but taught responsible home ownership? What if a bank didn't just make business loans, but actually trained successful entrepreneurs? And what if a bank didn't just help you use credit, but helped you build and repair it? That would be a different kind of bank. Southern Bancorp, a bank on a mission to be wealth builders for everyone. Learn how you can bank differently at banksouthern.com/whatif.
Kyron Harrison with his first touchdown of the night. That gives him 31 rushing touchdowns this year and 33 touchdowns for the season. He's had a couple of touchdown receptions as well. 2 touchdowns scored tonight by Cannon Turner and a touchdown by Jayshon Davis. And now Harrison, all 4 touchdowns on running plays, and Arkadelphia leads at 28-6. Now kicking off to the Dragons of DeWitt High School. Onside kick, Arkadelphia fighting for the football. It's loose. It stays loose. Arkadelphia would like to say that they have it, but they're not going to be able to make that claim. DeWitt got a ball that bounced around for quite a while before a Dragon came up with it.
Yeah, and trying to catch the Dragons by surprise that time, just getting the onside kick or trying to, but that time unsuccessful. DeWitt's going to have the ball close to midfield, a good field position for him, and this really is their chance. DeWitt hasn't really had much success tonight on offense, wanting to come out down 3 scores now, really needing to get back in this game as we get further along in this first half, or this Badger offense might put the game away if DeWitt doesn't start scoring soon.
The Dragons at their own 46-yard line set it up offensively with 2 receivers to the left side, 2 to the right side, 1 running back. That is Dabner, and he's going to get the carry. He'll go to the right side, hit immediately. He'll fall forward for a couple of yards, but Arkadelphia defending the run very, very well, not only on that play, but really all night long. It's been a clinic by this Arkadelphia defense. So Josh Dabner, who comes in averaging 5 yards per carry, has over 900 yards rushing this year. He got 2 on first down.
Yeah, that time not the best run, getting a couple yards, but the small running back just clobbered that time by the Badger front 7, only able to pick up a couple yards. But now the quarterback coming and standing in once again, probably going to go to the pass here.
Same formation, 2 split ends to the left side, 2 to the right side. Dabner is the running back. Courtney at quarterback will throw it into the flat. That ball is incomplete, in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. And that time the intended receiver, let's see, I don't think it was their speedster. No, I'm wrong, it was. They tried to get the ball once again to Jonta Wright, but it's been about 50-50 on whether or not he's going to catch those balls in the flat, as anything over his head is just slipping out of his hands.
Yeah, the quarterback, Courtney, that time trying to connect with him. Obviously a good bit taller than his receiver on the sides of that time, just trying to connect with him that time, unsuccessful. But now Dewitt with a 5 wide receiver set, probably expect them to pass the ball here.
3rd down, 8 yards to go. Quarterback only one in the backfield. 5 receivers is the formation, and back to pass is Courtney. He's already under pressure. He'll stop. He'll look for a place to throw, and he's going to be sacked. It's a huge, huge loss on the play, all the way back to the DeWitt 34-yard line.
You saw Ricky Rogers, you saw Jason Cameron, you saw Lorenzo Lawson coming in. All 3 of those guys getting in on their quarterback, having their fair share, getting to the quarterback and getting the stop. A huge, huge 3rd down loss on the play. Now DeWitt is going to have no other choice but to punt, with it being, I think, a little bit more than 4th and 20 now. A huge stop from the Badger defense. There's going to be a punt here.
That was a loss of 13 on the play, so it is 4th down and 21. They spotted the ball at the 35-yard line. And the quarterback, thankfully, was all right, and he'll stay in to punt the ball away after a timeout by DeWitt. So we'll take a break also. Arkadelphia is just about to get the ball back. 7:56 left in the second quarter. It's Arkadelphia 28 and DeWitt 6. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
As a family-owned sporting goods supplier since 1950, Southwest Sporting Goods understands the value of customer service and is committed to providing the best quality customer service and merchandise available. Southwest Sporting Goods is located in Arkadelphia, but also has salesmen that cover the entire state of Arkansas to help ensure that their customers will receive the best customer service and pricing that can be found. Southwest Sporting Goods, located in downtown Arkadelphia, supporting the Badgers since 1950.
Back to the action at Badger Stadium. Arkadelphia 28 and DeWitt 6. To tell you the truth, I think my struggle to keep the window clear is maybe a bigger struggle than the Badgers are having with the Dragons tonight. Here's the punt. It is going to spin over the 50, over the 45, and now take an Arkadelphia bounce. So they're going to stop it at the Arkadelphia 43-yard line. After the punt, Arkadelphia, Jack, comes away with good field position.
Yeah, not a great punt like we've seen. Saw the first time tonight, and that time kind of the same result. Flipping the field, I guess, kind of getting on the other side of the field. Badgers going to start in their own territory, but still close to midfield now. Going to be starting with the ball, a 28-6 lead, with another chance to extend their lead and get closer to that very, very highly coveted good sportsmanship rule. But now the Badgers coming out once again. Cannon Turner and his offense with another chance to get on the board.
Yeah, let me make it clear. I meant no disrespect toward the Dragons moments ago. It's just really hard to keep this window clean. Here is a running play, and Arkadelphia is going to get some yardage across the 50 to the 48-yard line, maybe the 47-yard line. Good gain on first down.
Cannon Turner that time, he pretty much just threw a few of the Dragon defenders that time off of them. Getting a good play that time on first down, running the football. The tall quarterback or the strong quarterback doing a good job running the ball so far tonight. We haven't seen, I don't know if we've seen a single pass attempt from the Badgers tonight, but I mean, they really don't see any reason why with the running game being so effective.
2nd down and 1 after that nice gain, and now Cannon Turner will keep the ball. He will be hit behind the line of scrimmage and not quite make it to the line of scrimmage. He'll be tackled at the 50-yard line, as that time the Dragons were able to get through the line quickly and create a loss on the play. 3rd down coming up for Arkadelphia. They need 4 yards for a first down.
Yeah, with that time brought a little bit of pressure, and Cannon Turner tried to, lay it off like he was throwing the football, but then immediately saw that a couple Dragon defenders were coming right at him, and that time taken down just a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage for a little bit of a loss there. But now a big third down play for the Badgers now at midfield.
Ja'Shawn Davis will check in. Arkadelphia will go with Thomas at quarterback. Cannon Turner becomes a running back along with Harrison. Harrison now in the pistol with two blocking backs. They will throw the ball into the flat. This is Harrison. He's got some room. He's got a first down across the 45 to the 40. Still going to the 35 to the 32-yard line.
Yeah, honestly, I don't understand how he's able to just stand up like that and just, keep running. That time, Kyron Harrison looked like he was going to keep going, but eventually dragged down. It's still a huge gain for him that time. Like just on cue, the Badgers do get their first passing play of the night. Buster Thomas connecting with Kyron Harrison for a big first down play for him and picking up the chains.
First down and 10, Arkadelphia at the DeWitt 32-yard line. Quarterback again is Thomas. He is going to hand it to Harrison. Harrison hit this time right at the line of scrimmage and will not gain yardage. Good tackle that time by the middle linebacker for DeWitt. Jamarian Kennedy on the tackle. It's hard to tackle Mr. Harrison. You know, we talk about his strength, Jack, but he has great balance as well.
Yeah, great play that time from the defense of DeWitt. Kyron Harrison, like we talked about, just extremely hard to drag down, just bragging on him earlier, but that time able to be brought down from the DeWitt linebacker.
Loss of 2. On 2nd and 12, it will be a keeper for Cannon Turner. He'll break one tackle, break another, and get good yardage, short of the first down, but still yardage across the 30-yard line. We'll say now the 27-yard line. And it will be third down. The Badgers need to come up with another 4 yards.
Yeah, third and manageable now for the Badgers. Cannon Turner.
Make it 5. Sorry about that. Third down, 5 yards to go.
See Cannon Turner and Kyron Harrison standing in the backfield. You might expect a passing play here, but I would not be surprised if they decide to go back to the run. Being inside DeWitt's 30-yard line, if they don't get it here, you expect them to go for it on 4th.
That's right. Really 2 downs to pick up these 5 yards. Running formation for Arkadelphia, and they're going to hand it off to Harrison. He's hit immediately. He's going to get a yard or 2, but 4th down is coming. The Badgers going to need about another 3 yards.
Yeah, not exactly what you want. I think everyone kind of saw Kyron Harrison with the ball in his hands before the play even was snapped. And now a 4th down play for the Badgers. Big chance here for DeWitt's defense to get off the field, and that's exactly what you're going to be looking for if you're DeWitt, is to get your offense back out on the field. And if you're the Badgers, trying to get a first down, trying to continue to eat away at this game, and a huge 4th down for both of these sides could play big implications on the rest of the night.
Going to be a timeout on the field as Arkadelphia lets it go below 10 on the play clock, and now they're going to have a conversation about what they'd like to do on 4th down. After the spot, he really needs 4 yards instead of 3. So when we come back to action, it'll be 4th down and 4 for Arkadelphia at the 26-yard line of DeWitt. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Locally owned and operated, Welch Funeral Home has been serving the Arkadelphia community since 2005. Our goal at Welch Funeral Home is to offer every family that will allow us to serve them the most caring, dignified, professional service at the most affordable price. With over 40 years of experience in the funeral home industry, owner Tim Welch and Welch Funeral Home have also been longtime supporters of the Arkadelphia Badgers and Lady Badgers. Contact Welch Funeral Home at 870-230-1400 or visit them at 202 South 4th Street near downtown Arkadelphia.
At the DeWitt 26-yard line, Arkadelphia faces a 4th down and 4 yards to go. The Badgers line up. Cannon Turner at quarterback. 3 receivers to the right side. Harrison to the left. Now in motion and setting up behind the right tackle is Ricky Rogers. They're going to run it to the wide side. Noah pass across the middle. Wide open is Rogers to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Arkadelphia!
Ricky Rogers, once again, the Badgers, so many options that they have running the ball and passing the ball. On 4th down, a huge play for him as we see the replay. A fake to Kyron Harrison and Ricky Rogers wide open in the middle of the field, outrunning the defenders into the end zone. Another touchdown for the Badgers, extending their lead, and my oh my, a great play from them, getting another touchdown. Ricky Rogers, the one with the play and getting the score.
Beautiful call. Wide open receiver. Good run after the catch, and Arkadelphia scored another touchdown. The extra point is up, and Savage has made another one. It's Arkadelphia 35 and DeWitt 6. 4 minutes exactly left before halftime, and when we come back, Arkadelphia will be kicking off one more time. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Turner, Rogers, Manning & Plyler CPA is a longtime supporter of the Arkadelphia Public School District. Turner, Rogers, Manning & Plyler has established a reputation for providing clients with outstanding services that include auditing, accounting, and tax and business consulting. Contact Turner, Rogers, Manning & Plyler today at 870-246-4563 or by visiting them at 305 Professional Park Drive in Arkadelphia. Turner, Rogers, Manning & Plyler says, "Go Badgers!"
Another workout on the window in front of us. I said clean a while ago. I should have said clear. It is fogging up big time. But I got to keep it clear in front of Chris Babb so he can see this game as Arkadelphia is dominating the contest right now after a good start by Dewitt. Scored on the opening kickoff, but they have not scored since. Arkadelphia has 35 unanswered points, and the Badgers are now kicking off. Savage, perfect on extra points. Not easy either for that extra point team with a wet ball and a little bit of a drizzle. Here's a short kick. It is going to be caught. Fair catch made at the 36-yard line. So DeWitt will not return that kickoff for a touchdown, but they'll have decent field position at their own 36-yard line. The Dragons take over.
Yeah, and I mean now with 4 minutes left here in this first half, it's a 29-point lead for the Badgers, only 6 points away from that good sportsmanship rule. Really all that DeWitt can ask for here, a touchdown, not only gets them just a little bit closer to the Badgers score, but also keeps them further away from the good sportsmanship rule. Exactly what you want, is just trying to stay in the game here with a couple minutes left in this first half, wanting to get on the board, and exactly what you're going to want here.
Ball spotted at the 37. They'll throw the ball on first down. There's a completion up to the 45, knocked out of bounds at the 50, maybe the 49-yard line of Arkadelphia. On the catch for DeWitt with his first catch of the night is Terrence Ticey.
Yeah, Ticey that time just getting into open space, just running down the field and then cutting back on a quick curl route, catching the ball near the first down, getting a couple extra yards, and immediately now DeWitt is back into Badger territory. We see how lethal they can be when completions are made. You see them come few and far between so far tonight, but nonetheless a good first down play for them.
Seth Courtney, senior quarterback, he's been a very good one this year. He'll roll to his left and look to throw it downfield. He will throw the pass. Downfield it is incomplete at the 30-yard line of Arkadelphia. He tried to get the ball downfield to his star receiver, Jonta Wright.
Yeah, Wright, once again, the guy that they're looking for that time just came up a little bit empty-handed on the play. The ball, I think, a little bit underthrown. I think it was Cole Turner on the coverage there, just trying to get right in the receiver's face. And the quarterback, Courtney, rushed out to the left side, having to throw the ball potentially a little bit off balance, and nonetheless an incomplete pass there.
All right, both Ticey and Wright will line up wide to the left side, wide side of the field. Courtney at quarterback on 2nd and 10 throws a quick pass. There's a good pass to his brother, and it's going to be enough for a first down. Dax Courtney on the catch. First down and 10 at the Arkadelphia 37-yard line.
And a good play that time from the Dragons, getting a first down like we talked about. When they hit those quick passes, they really are a whole lot more effective. We see when the quarterback, Courtney, doesn't always have, or normally doesn't at all, have much time at all to sit in the pocket, that time getting rid of the ball as quickly as possible and picking up another first down.
Courtney quarterbacking his team, trying to get a touchdown. They'll throw the ball to the flat. Here's a run after the catch for Jonta Wright. Takes 4 Badgers to drag him down. That's a good gain as he got the ball quickly out to Wright. When they throw those quick passes, there's just not an opportunity to rush the passer, and that's what has worked tonight for DeWitt, because if he stays in the pocket very long, Arkadelphia gets back there with him.
Yeah, and we see the Badgers secondary, they play normally off the receiver. Don't really see a lot of coverage that is super tight, but that time just letting it a little bit loose, and DeWitt made him pay that time, just connecting with the receiver once again and picking up positive yardage.
8-yard gain to the 29-yard line. On 2nd down and 2, DeWitt comes to the line of scrimmage. They're going to throw the ball deep, and Arkadelphia covers it well. Ooh, a flag goes down at the end of the play. Gee whiz. The coaches next to us are correct in that there was a false start on the far side by DeWitt. That was not picked up upon, but it looks like they have called interference that may go against the Badgers. Looked like good coverage, but I think he may have turned around too late, and the official decided that some contact would be called interference. Got a hold of him, I guess, just as the ball was coming. Boy, he was in position to make a play on the ball if he had turned around to look for the ball. But instead, it's going to be 1st down and 10, pass interference against the Badgers.
And that's not what you want to see that time, really being bailed out on the play. The pass really wasn't that great on the quarterback, Courtney, just getting rid of it before the pressure could get to him. But yet another first down for the Dragons here.
They spot the ball at the 21-yard line. So from there, first down and 10 for Dewitt. They're going to throw it deep down the right side, looking for the reception, and getting it at the 10-yard line is the receiver. I believe that is his brother, Dax. With the catch was Dax Courtney, the big sophomore. Defender fell down on the play, and Dax went up and caught the ball and then was immediately tackled. But it is a first down and goal for DeWitt at the Arkadelphia 9-yard line. So can the defense keep DeWitt out of the end zone? The only touchdown for DeWitt was on the opening kickoff return. So the Arkadelphia first-team defense has not given up any points so far tonight. Clock running. We're down to 2:10 left in the second quarter. Jonta Wright and Ticey both split to the left side. He'll throw it to the right, though, looking for his brother. He goes high. He will catch the ball, and he's in. That's a touchdown for DeWitt as Dax Courtney used his size to go high and get the touchdown, keeping a foot in bounds. So a touchdown for DeWitt.
Yeah, a huge touchdown for them, really just keeping them in this ball game now with just under 2 minutes left in this first half, going up against Trey Bledsoe, I think, was on the coverage there, and getting the touchdown was Courtney, the younger brother of the quarterback, getting a touchdown, keeping them in this game, and probably expect them to go for two once again, but a good job from them getting another score before halftime.
They'll go for two, as they normally do. Again, even on a dry night, they don't do a lot of kicking. They prefer to go for two. Seth Courtney at quarterback has three receivers to the wide side, to the left side. He'll throw across the middle, and it's complete. That is dropped. He dropped it. That's an incomplete pass on the two-point conversion. And so DeWitt will stick with 12 points. It's Arkadelphia 35, DeWitt 12, 1:56 left before halftime. And we'll come back with more Arkadelphia Badger football in the playoffs in 30 seconds.
Arkadelphia community for its loyalty over the years. Operating in Arkadelphia for 47 years, the Bridges family has owned and operated the business and has built great relationships with local businesses such as Hardman Lumber and local insurance companies such as Austin Wingfield State Farm, Chad Kesterson Shelter Insurance, and Clark County Farm Bureau Insurance. We also send a special Go Badgers to our favorite Badger, our little brother, number 22, Trey Bledsoe. Go Badgers from Brian Bridges Roofing, 870-245-8268.
High-powered offense for DeWitt. They scored 44 points in a 44-15 win over Riverview in the first round of the playoffs, and Riverview was a number one seed coming out of, frankly, a weaker conference. They also scored 40 in a win against Monticello. They scored 44 in a loss to Star City. They scored 30 points in a loss to Warren. They scored 50 in a win against Hamburg. So this is a team that has scored some points this year. They had 46 points against Riverview in the non-conference schedule the first time they played Riverview this year. Here's an onside kick. Arkadelphia will recover it at the 41-yard line. Sammy Hawthorne will go down. Arkadelphia has the ball back and enough time, Jack, to try to put another touchdown on the board.
Yeah, and at that time, trying to get the Badgers off guard, a decent onside kick, but the ball just kind of hung in the air. Sammy Hawthorne won to pick the ball up, and now the Badgers are going to have good field position once again now with just under 2 minutes left here in this first half, but a good opportunity to continue to put some points on the board. Definitely going to want to do that after a DeWitt touchdown. Kind of maybe drained the Badger crowd a little bit more so, but really wanted to get back on the board and get in the driver's seat in this ball game by halftime.
First down, Arkadelphia at its own 41-yard line. They're going to send Harrison in motion. Blockers on the right side. Will they run to that side? No, they will. There's a little fake and a nice run by Turner. He's up to the 50, to the 46-yard line. First down and 10. Arkadelphia is that quickly back on the move.
Yeah, once again, Cannon Turner, the man who gets the ball on pretty much every play, at least for a few seconds. That time, getting the ball, running it right up the middle, going out to the right side, and then just bursting up the middle of the field for a first down.
First down, Arkadelphia. They will hand it to Braden Thomas, who's hit as he tries to turn the corner. He'll gain only 1 yard this time. Second down and 9 coming up. Arkadelphia still has enough time, but the clock is running at 1:27.
Yeah, that time not exactly what you want. Buster Thomas being hit as soon as he really got the ball past the line of scrimmage, only able to pick up 1 yard on the play. Not the best there on first down.
Second and 9. They're going to hand off again. This is Harrison. He's got some yardage up to the 40-yard line. Third down coming, but now it's third down and only 4.
Yeah, good play that time from Harrison, especially able to get out of bounds now with just over a minute left here in this first half. Inside Dragon territory here, but still a good chunk of the field to go if the Badgers want to get on the board here before halftime.
Well, he stepped out of bounds, I guess, at the 41. That's where they're going to mark it, and so it's third down, 5 yards to go for Arkadelphia. They look to the sideline to get the play. Logan Becker is on the left side, split wide. Now coming to that same side. Now Arkadelphia will call timeout. They want to think about it here on third down and 5 yards to go. Clock stops with 1:04 left in the second quarter. Arkadelphia 35 and DeWitt 12. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Under perfect conditions, your car traveling at 65 miles per hour can stop in about 300 feet. That's the length of a football field.
But a fully loaded tractor trailer, one that weighs 80,000 pounds, will take 2 football fields to stop. And that's if the driver is rested, paying attention, and the truck and load is properly maintained.
If you're in an accident with a big truck, call 1-800-CAR-WRECK.
Get the experienced team that's going to be on your side, by your side.
Third down, 5 yards to go. Arkadelphia at the 41-yard line of DeWitt. 1:04 left in the second quarter. Arkadelphia 35, DeWitt 12. You're in tune to KSWH right here in Arkadelphia, 102.5 on the campus of Henderson State University. The Pulse. Pass across the middle. It is a catch. No, incomplete. Oh, it was such a great dive. An attempted catch by Witten, but he couldn't quite pull it in. Wonderful attempt at that catch. I think he thought maybe he had it, but the official thought it hit the turf.
Yeah, he did. Witten did an almost amazing job of selling the catch that time, but I think we saw up here in the booth the ball did hit the ground, tried to trap it on the play. Nonetheless, going to be an incomplete pass, but now the Badgers with exactly a minute left here in this second quarter, going to probably, not sure if they're going to punt the ball here, expect them to maybe go for it with it being fourth and short, but they're going to take another timeout to think about it.
Why not? Arkadelphia will use another timeout with only 1 minute exactly left in the second quarter. Arkadelphia 35 and DeWitt 12. We'll be back with more last plays of the second quarter when we come back in 30 seconds.
Call State Farm agent Austin Wingfield at 870-246-2162 today.
Arkadelphia faces a fourth down and 5 at the 41-yard line of DeWitt. Exactly 1 minute left in the second quarter. Badgers 35, Dragons 12. Arkadelphia will send Cannon Turner on in punting position. We'll see if that is in effect what he does. And he will. Quick kick. Arkadelphia won't take any chances on fourth down. They're going to punt it down inside the 10, inside the 1. I think that went out of bounds before it went in the end zone. It did. He's inside the 1-yard line with 51 seconds left. That means they're going to have to run plays without any loss of yardage because they'd be in the end zone if they lose an inch here.
Yeah, there's really no margin of error here for the Dragons now. And, the Badgers thought that punting the football is the worst thing that could happen. But now DeWitt starting the ball literally inside the 1-yard line, probably on the 3-inch line. I think if I can see super far away, but I'm pretty sure it's 3 inches away from the goal line. But now DeWitt's going to have the ball after a great punt from Cannon Turner. A good job give a good job from the field rolling the football as we see on the camera here. Literally, it looks like it's touching the goal line from where we are, and DeWitt's going to have a really, really tall task to try not to have a safety here.
Now, Arkadelphia has no timeouts, so they don't have to run many plays, but they got to get it out of the end zone right here. He'll take the snap, he'll throw it to the flat, and he'll throw an incomplete pass, almost intercepted. Ball tipped around, now a flag goes down. That might go against Arkadelphia with some contact on the play, but it was almost intercepted.
Yeah, I think it's going to be either
defensive holding
or pass interference.
Yeah. If that's the case, then DeWitt's going to get out of the hole. Now, they've got 47 seconds left, but I would think they'd like to run out the clock and get back to the locker room, having scored the last touchdown of the second quarter. Ball's going to go out to just past the 15-yard line on the 15-yard penalty, and Arkadelphia will take over. Dangerous pass. Arkadelphia was in position to have a play on the ball, but committed the pass interference. So on first down and 10, now they're going to run it. Little halfback pass. He's in trouble, and he's going to run now, and some yardage for him to the 25-yard line. Going to be tackled there. A gain on the play, but it doesn't amount to very much this late. 34 seconds left. Dewitt can call timeout if they'd like to. Not sure if they're going to. They did run a trick play then. Now they're going to line up quickly and try to run another play without calling a timeout. The quarterback, Seth Courtney, talking to his receiver to the left side. Now he'll back up. He'll fire the ball to the flat. It's going to be caught, but immediately a tackle is made at the 31-yard line. That's first down, so they'll stop the clock to move the chains. There's only 12 seconds left. I suppose at this point, Jack, if they really want to try to score here, they just throw it deep and see if Jonta Wright can come up with it. He's their speedster. Back to pass, they'll throw it into the flat. This is instead Ticey. He'll make the catch and then run out of bounds at the 39-yard line. That will stop the clock, still with, well, now the clock went to 0. And the officials are going to agree with that and send us all to halftime. So at halftime, it is Arkadelphia 35 and DeWitt 12. We'll be back with the halftime show in 2 minutes.
Turner & Turner is a general practice law firm that focuses on consumer protection, personal injury, and civil litigation. To us, the practice of law is about service. Our clients aren't just cases to us. They are people who need our help solving legal issues. Turner & Turner actively supports local civic and charitable groups. Our attorneys will take the time to get to know you, your circumstances, and your goals. Turner & Turner Law Firm. We're in this together. Your team and ours.
Price & Company Insurance and Bonds in Arkadelphia is a 100% fully independent agency, meaning that you'll be working with insurance agents who have an in-depth knowledge of multiple insurance products, companies, and guidelines, not just one. Contact Price & Company Insurance and Bonds today for your needs at 1015 Caddo Street in Arkadelphia or by calling 870-246-5573. Price & Company Insurance and Bonds says, "Go Badgers!"
Under perfect conditions, your car traveling at 65 miles per hour can stop in about 300 feet. That's the length of a football field.
But a fully loaded tractor trailer, one that weighs 80,000 pounds, will take 2 football fields to stop. And that's if the driver is rested, paying attention, and the truck and load is properly maintained.
If you're in an accident with a big truck, call 1-800-CAR-WRECK.
Get the experienced team that's going to be on your side, by your side.
As a family-owned sporting goods supplier since 1950, Southwest Sporting Goods understands the value of customer service and is committed to providing the best quality customer service and merchandise available. Southwest Sporting Goods is located in Arkadelphia, but also has salesmen that cover the entire state of Arkansas to help ensure that their customers will receive the best customer service and pricing that can be found. Southwest Sporting Goods, located in downtown Arkadelphia, supporting the Badgers since 1950.
Care Field at Badgers Stadium, home of the Arkadelphia Badgers, where the Badgers lead. Now let's go. Welcome back to All Care Field at Badger Stadium, where the Arkadelphia Badgers lead the DeWitt Dragons 35-12 at halftime. Chris Babb with Jim Rothwell. And Jim, good first half for the Badgers. One defensive touchdown given up by the defense. It was a quick start for the Dragons on the special teams with a kickoff return for the touchdown, but a good response by the Arkadelphia Badgers, both on offense and defense.
It really was. Defensively, they've done a great job. I was looking at the rushing stats. DeWitt rushed 13 times for a net of 10 yards. That's counting the couple of sacks. So that's less than 1 yard a rush. And we're right on target for what they're averaging passing. They're 111, but they're only 12 out of 21. Most of them have been short passes. Some of them picked up a few yards, but nothing long, nothing big. Pretty diverse in the receiving. Wright has 5 receptions for 51. Dax Courtney has 2 for 27, and then Ticey has 3 for 37. So, again, what we expect, spreading the ball around a little bit, using it right a lot. Again, nothing that Arkadelphia probably didn't expect on defense.
Right. It's going to be a game of we talked to Coach Eldridge in the pregame show. Getting pressure up front from the defensive line is going to be key, but also tackling an open space we've seen has been a big key for Arkadelphia. Defensively, as Courtney was trying to find his favorite target out there, Johnson Wright is also his brother. Courtney, I'm just getting mixed up on the brothers. Dax Courtney,
yeah.
The big, tall, wide receiver out there on the outside. Open field tackling is going to be key for Arkadelphia in the second half.
It really is. You don't want those short sort of screen passes out there to Wright or to Ticey or anything like that. You don't want those to break into big plays. And Arkadelphia's done a good job of cutting those off. Do have a mismatch with Dax Courtney. I mean, you've got a 5'9", maybe 5'10", but probably more likely 5'9" cornerback matched up, and he just used his height to catch the one in the end zone there.
And 5'9's being generous.
Yes.
Let's take a look at the Arkadelphia offense. A heavy dose of the run. You kind of expected that, but you've also had a heavy dose of multiple formations. You know, we saw against Bauxite the first time where you saw Buster Thomas line up at quarterback, Cannon Turner and Kyron Harrison as the two running backs. We saw a touchdown run to the right against Bauxite. You see a touchdown run to the left the next week from the first one was Kyron Harrison against Bauxite. Cannon Turner runs to the left. Harrison uses the block, scores a touchdown against Malvern. Last week against Pottsville, you have Buster throwing to Kyron for a touchdown pass out of that formation. And then tonight we see a steady dose of those two, a little keeper by Buster, but then another wrinkle with Kyron Harrison going back and Ja'Shawn Davis coming in at one of those, and he got a touchdown run for 30 yards.
That's true. Again, it's sort of like pick your poison. Who you're going to stop out of those three, because you're probably not going to be able to stop all of them. And again, a lot of that depends on the read, whether it's Turner at quarterback or in this case Thomas making that right read. And again, with Arkadelphia's speed and the ability of Turner and Harrison to run the ball, it's a very effective formation. Also, the middle has been open. A couple of the passes there. Ricky Rogers, his touchdown catch, the middle was wide open. Just missed the one there on third down or fourth down or whatever it was. Third down. Yeah, it was there. There was nobody in the middle of the field. He just slipped in there, and there wasn't a linebacker, wasn't a defensive back anywhere in the middle of the field there. So that's open if they'll just take advantage of it. The passing was pretty effective. They were 2 out of 3 for 45 yards, and again the one touchdown to Rogers. So good job there of using that pass effectively. But the running game is just amazing. Harrison, 8 carries for 124 yards. That's 15.5 yards a carry. But Turner's right there with him, 9 for 91. That's, again, a little over 10 yards a carry. So both of them almost got over 100 yards in the first half.
Right. And you take a look at the play calling. On that touchdown pass to Ricky Rogers, you can see on the replay, we saw it live, those two linebackers, as soon as the snap, it was a fourth down play. They expected nothing different than Cannon Turner or Kyron Harrison to run the ball. They took 2 or 3 steps towards the line of scrimmage. Cannon Turner pulled it back and dumped it over to Ricky Rogers. A great play call that time. We've seen the same thing out of those different formations.
That's right. Again, on that third down to Stacey Whitten, it was the same thing. They were expecting Harrison or Turner to keep the ball to try to get that first down and run for it. And then it was open there just to Buster just overthrew him just a little bit, or underthrew him.
That was Cannon there.
Cannon.
You know, it's about making plays. Winning football games, winning any games, is about making the play. And tonight, the Badgers have made the plays when they needed to. Especially, I think that fourth down catch to the throw and catch to Ricky Rogers was key to kind of make that game a 35-6 game.
It separated Arkadelphia a little bit from the Dragons there. Put that distance between them. Again, Dewitt has a high-powered offense, and they can score, and they've got some playmakers, but Arkadelphia's done a good job. And again, you've got to keep that distance every time they score. From now on, we need to be able to match it. The good thing is we'll get the ball to start the second half, and maybe we can put some points on the board there.
The Badgers will get the ball when we start the second half in just under 8 minutes. We'll take another timeout, and when we come back, Jack Bennington will join us with some scores from around the state in the second round of the Class 4A state playoffs. At halftime, the score, Arkadelphia 35, DeWitt 12. We'll be back with more of the Southern Bancorp halftime show after this 2-minute timeout.
Everyone's known for something. Ours is simple. At the Southwest Auto Collection and iDriveSWA.com, you get the absolute lowest price on America's best brands: Ford, Lincoln, Chevy, GMC, Buick, and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. The best selection and the lowest prices guaranteed. And we deliver anywhere in the state, plus tires for life. It really is that simple. Visit us today, the Southwest Auto Collection, I-30 exit 78 in Arkadelphia, or online at iDriveSWA.com.
At Eccles, Thompson, and Kneebone CPA, we seek to provide accounting, tax, and financial planning services to individuals and small businesses with proficiency and integrity. Serving Arkadelphia since 1977, our staff looks forward to meeting your financial goals of today and also becoming your financial advocate for life. Visit us at 205 North 25th Street or call 246-8991 today. Eccles, Thompson, and Kneebone Ltd. says Go Badgers.
For over 75 years, Mary and Martha's Florist and Gifts on Main Street in Arkadelphia has served the people of Arkadelphia and her surrounding communities, providing a wide variety of floral and gift needs. Do you have a special occasion that calls for just the right touch of creativity? Join the many who call David Goodman at Mary and Martha's to create a floral arrangement to fit their needs and budget. Call Mary and Martha's at 870-246-2446 or visit their location at 921 Main Street in Arkadelphia. Mary and Martha's Florist is a proud supporter of the Arkadelphia Badgers. For over 75 years, Mary and Martha's...
Locally owned and operated, Welch Funeral Home has been serving the Arkadelphia community since 2005. Our goal at Welch Funeral Home is to offer every family that will allow us to serve them the most caring, dignified, professional service at the most affordable price. With over 40 years of experience in the funeral home industry, owner Tim Welch and Welch Funeral Home have also been longtime supporters of the Arkadelphia Badgers and Lady Badgers. Contact Welch Funeral Home at 870-230-1400 or visit them at 202 South 4th Street near downtown Arkadelphia.
We're back with the halftime show. We're back now with the halftime show. Jack Bennington now joined by Jim Rothwell. We're looking at some of the scores from around the state here in the 4A state playoffs. And the most important game, I think, for the Arkadelphia Badgers tonight is the game that is in the bracket is directly above Arkadelphia, which includes the number 1 seed Crossit and number 4 seed Gosnell. Right now, at halftime, Crossit leads that game 18-0 over Gosnell. Definitely expect the number 1 seed to come out strong, Jim, but still a little bit of a close game, I think, here as we're going to go into halftime for that.
Yeah, Crossit has a really good defense. They've shown that all year. They did a good job against Warren, beating Warren, and it was the defense that won that. So their scores have tended to be fairly low, but they've got a really good defense, and we're seeing that again from that score, I think.
A couple other scores. Looking at another high-powered team the Badgers could potentially see come semifinal round. Looking at Shiloh Christian right now dominating. Looks like Pocahontas now 42-7. I have the score at halftime for that game. And then another game that has huge implications on who the Badgers could be playing in the next couple rounds. Right now at halftime, Nashville is tied with Dardanelle 21-all at halftime. A big game, I think, for both sides. Obviously, Nashville, the team that Arkadelphia lost to, the one loss that Arkadelphia has on the season, right now tied with Dardanelle at halftime.
That's true. And, again, that was a close matchup, and be interesting to see how that one turns out with if Dardanelle can hold off Nashville in the second half. Nashville, again, has a lot of speed, a lot of playmakers, and a pretty high-powered offense. So we'll see how that comes out.
Yeah. Looking at the bracket, Shiloh, if they were probably going to go on to win their game against Pocahontas, they're probably going to end up playing the winner of Dardanelle and Nashville. So definitely a huge game, I think, for the Badgers. Obviously, don't want to look too far ahead into the playoffs, but nonetheless, still big, deciding on who's going to be making it further in the playoffs.
That's true. Nashville has the speed and the talent to match up with Shiloh, I think. And, again, it'll be interesting to see if they can pull this one out in the second half.
Absolutely. And then looking at a couple more scores, we're going to see Jonesboro Westside now leading against Hamburg at halftime 21-6. Joe T. Robinson, a team in the 7-4A that Arkadelphia was able to take care of and beat earlier this season, is up against CAC 21-6, a little bit of a closer score than you might expect. J.T. Robinson, the team that won the 7-4A, and although Arkadelphia was able to beat them, the tiebreaker rule was able to give J.T. Robinson the conference championship, but a close game for them in halftime against CAC.
That's true. I was listening to sports radio this afternoon, and they were talking about that game, and there was someone from fan of CAC talking about it would probably be they'd have trouble holding Robinson down, but it looks like we're doing a pretty good job at 21-6 at half.
Yeah, and I heard just a couple days ago. I mean, both these schools are in Little Rock. I think they're only about maybe 10 minutes away from each other, so definitely a big matchup there. Kind of expected. I mean, I wouldn't really consider it a rivalry game, but still an inner city competition. Both of these teams from Little Rock, a big game for them. And looking at a couple more scores around the state, as we're going to see, Warren right now is beating number 2 seed Warren is beating the number 1 seed Ozark at halftime. Have the score 17-10 in that game, a big game, obviously. On the other side of the bracket, Arkadelphia really not going to have to play any of the teams that we're talking about right now unless be in the championship game. And then finally, Star City right now tied with Pea Ridge 7-7 at halftime. But now just looking back at Arkadelphia's first half, up like we're seeing on the scoreboard here on the screen, 35-12 at halftime. The Badgers putting up a great half on the offensive end, but a couple mistakes really causing them not to have exactly the kind of half that they would want, especially going up against the number 5 seed. But nonetheless, Badgers coming out with a big lead, going to want to look to try and capitalize on this game.
That's true. We need to come out strong, put another score up, get closer to that sportsmanship rule. Defense needs to come out again, putting the pressure on the quarterback. When he took time to try to drop back and throw, he didn't have time. I think he ended up with losses of about minus 20 yards altogether. He had a couple of runs to offset that, but there were several big losses, and he was scrambling a couple of times. He threw passes that could easily have been intercepted, or he took a chance on throwing them because he was under such pressure. Another local score, I noticed Gurdon and Dirks are tied 14-14. So it's another
there
local.
You go.
Yeah.
There you go. And especially now the Badgers going to want to come out here in the second half, like we talked about, with it being big for them. But right now it looks like we're going to have a 2-minute break, and when we come back, we're going to have second half action for the Badgers, but nonetheless, we'll be back in 2 minutes for second half.
Citizens Bank was established by a group of local business leaders who shared a vision of creating a bank that would be committed to serving working people. Over the years, we have expanded our services, locations, and technology, but we make every effort to stay true to our roots. Citizens Bank is owned by local shareholders and governed by a local board of directors, most of whom live, work, and invest alongside our customers. We continue to take pride in a heritage of independence that honors the vision of our founders, and we remain dedicated to the financial progress of the people we serve.
Doctors Gary and Rob Rucker are proud sponsors of this Arkadelphia Badger broadcast. Dr. Gary and Rob Rucker supporting the Badgers since 1996.
Angry Goat Media is home to Follow the Badgers. Get your business booming today with the exceptional web design and development, photography, video production, and graphic design services. Angry Goat Media is the perfect company to get the job done. We're always ready to customize our services to your business requirements, needs, and budget. Angry Goat Media. Innovation, not imitation.
Doctors Gary and Rob Rucker are proud sponsors of this Arkadelphia Badger broadcast. Dr. Gary and Rob Rucker supporting the Badgers since 1996.
Back at Badger Stadium, we're just about ready for second half action. This is Jeff Root. I want to say thank you for the halftime show brought to you by Chris Babb, by Jack Bennington, by Jim Rothwell. The statistics, the scores, everything very interesting. Jack, as we've got a couple of moments here before kickoff, let me just say that one thing I really like about tonight with the Arkadelphia Badgers, as it does appear that they should be able to control the second half and go to the next round of the playoffs, they're giving their opponents even more to study to get ready for Arkadelphia. We've seen some new wrinkles tonight.
Yeah, honestly, looking at this Badger team, it is so hard to figure out what you're even supposed to try to stop. I mean, looking at this Badger team, especially tonight, we've seen a little bit more of the three-headed dragon that we like to call going up against the Dragons tonight. But Buster Thomas, Kyron Harrison, and Cannon Turner, every time I see those three in the background, I mean, I'm sitting up in the press box, and I'm like cheering for the Badgers, but still it kind of makes me a little bit nervous seeing all three of those playmakers in the backfield. But I totally agree. A whole lot of things that other teams and coaches have to worry about with this Badgers. Such a talented team, so many players that have shown out and really had their moment on every single week so far this season, but especially tonight, a playoff game. You're going to be able to see a lot of what a team is going to bring, and for the Badgers, it really is a lot that they bring.
Those three players can line up together in the backfield. You can spread out two of them and leave one at quarterback, and you got more than one choice at quarterback. Everything that Arkadelphia can do, it's shown a little bit of, and that gives the defense, the opposing coaches, a lot to study, and it's even more after tonight's game. So Arkadelphia is set to return this kickoff. Now, we expect an onside kick because, well, we just see that a lot from Dewitt. We have scouted that and seen that a lot in their season. They don't have a kicker that's going to send it all the way to the 10-yard line or the goal line. So Arkadelphia's deep receivers are actually standing between the 25 and 30-yard line. They might kick it to a gap at about the 35 to 40-yard line in the middle of the field. We might just also see an onside kick.
You definitely expect that. I mean, the Badgers going to hopefully get the ball here, but just looking at the kicker lining up, I mean, it's almost a guarantee that it's going to be an onside kick on this play here.
Yeah, he's only 2 yards from the ball. I think you're right. Here it comes, and the onside kick will bounce very high, but Arkadelphia will return the ball and have the possession at its own 42-yard line. So first down and 10 for the Badgers. Arkadelphia has the ball first, and that's important here in the second half as Arkadelphia wants to stretch out that lead and get closer to the good sportsmanship rule.
Yeah, you saw in the first half how important it is to start with the ball. Shallow Christian, DeWitt came out to start the first half with the kickoff return for a touchdown. Now the Badgers get the chance. The offense coming out here in good field position. The offense did a really good job in the first half, but want to come out again and start out strong.
Are you foretelling a future matchup between Arkadelphia and Shiloh?
I'm trying to focus on tonight.
That's what we'll do. We'll focus on the second half instead. Here is a running play, and Arkadelphia's got a little bit of room, well defended at first, but then Harrison will bounce outside and make it to the 46-yard line. A pickup of 5, 2nd and 5 coming.
Yeah, good run that time from Harrison, doing a good job of just fending off the defender that time. I think we're going to have a penalty, probably going to be a hold, as we're going to see the Badger players go in, head on back a couple yards, and I think that is what the call is on the play there.
Interesting. Way back in the middle of the field, holding is the call, going to go against Arkadelphia. So the Badgers have first down, but they'll start now from their 31 instead of the 41. First down and 20 for Arkadelphia. Will they keep it on the ground or go back to the air? They've had success with both tonight. Arkadelphia leading in this game 35-12 as we're just underway in the second half.
You know, I would love to see them go back to the air. They've only done it a couple times tonight, but for the most part, they've had a good bit of success.
3 receivers to the left side. Now Ricky Rogers comes in motion. He has a touchdown reception tonight. And they want to throw the ball across the middle. Oh, it's overthrown. Witten was right there, but it was just overthrown at the 50-yard line. Oh, Mr. Witten might have scored a touchdown on that play, but instead, second down, I should say, in 20.
Yeah, a really, really big missed chance right there. Staten Witten was wide open in the middle of the field. Cannon Turner just lobbing it over. The pressure coming to him immediately, but just trying to lob it over that defense. That time a little bit, got a little bit too much elevation on the play, just going a little bit too far for Staten Witten, not able to get that catch, but nonetheless, good job trying to go to the air that play.
Kyler Pfeiffer lined up on the left side in motion again, and sitting up behind the right tackle is Rogers. Now they're going to send Thomas in motion, and they're going to hand it to him. He's looking for room on the sideline. There's nowhere to go. He'll gain maybe a yard or two at most, maybe nothing, and it's going to be 3rd down and long.
Yeah, not at all what you want. Buster Thomas, he's done a good job this season of when he gets into space that he gets a lot of great yardage plays, but that time there really just wasn't much space to run into. That time, a good job from DeWitt blocking off the open space, trying to get to the sideline, but there was nothing there that time for him. And now a 3rd and very, very long play here for the Badgers, trying to get in this game and trying to get a first down.
In the shotgun, as usual, is Cannon Turner. He's going to send Thomas in motion. Now back to pass. Pressure's on. They throw a screen pass, and there's a little bit of room. But, he's caught from behind just as he starts to take off. And so not much of a gain for Jay Sean Davis up to the 31-yard line. And Arkadelphia will be forced to punt the ball away, something we didn't see in the first half.
Yeah, not at all what you like to see there. That time, Jayshon Davis, I think he might have tripped two as soon as he caught the ball, and as a result wasn't able to get going. Before he could get a couple yards on the play, he was immediately taken down. Fourth and very long here. It looks like it's probably going to be a punt, like you said, and DeWitt's going to have the ball back.
Arkadelphia punted the ball at the very end of the second quarter. Now they'll have to punt it again at the beginning of the third quarter. Here's the snap. The kick is away, and the kick is a very good one that will be allowed to bounce but will not take an Arkadelphia bounce, unfortunately. The ball's going to be stopped at about the 25. Touched, though, originally by Arkadelphia at about the 29-yard line. Man, if that had had an Arkadelphia bounce, it might have gone near the goal line. It was a beautiful kick, but it did not take an Arkadelphia bounce, and so DeWitt has decent field position starting at its own 28-yard line.
Yeah, good field position from DeWitt, and we saw at the very end of the first half, their offense really come to life and capitalize by their first offensive touchdown of the night, and that offense is going to get another chance here. Coming back out on the field, only down by 23 points, but still, I think any playoff game is a chance for a team to come back in the game. And at the start of the third quarter here, this offense has a chance to come out with quarterback Courtney to try and get back in this ball game.
Ball was respotted at the 29-yard line. That's where DeWitt will start the drive. Courtney at quarterback will throw a quick pass, and it's incomplete, as I think his receiver did not run the pattern he was expecting, and he threw it to really nobody at the 35-yard line. 2nd and 10 coming. This is, Jack, a high-powered offense, so you don't want to let them get a fast start here in the third quarter.
No, absolutely not. I mean, with it being such a pass-heavy offense, I mean, really one play can just demoralize a team. I mean, we've seen a couple times tonight, Courtney able to get a couple big chunk yardage plays, and now with an empty backfield set, going to the air, got to be really careful here on your coverage.
4 receivers on the wide side, left side of the field, 1 on the right. No running back in the game. And they're going to go out, and Arkadelphia will blitz the passer. They're putting pressure on him. He wants to throw it. He's under pressure. A flag goes down. He'll escape that pressure. Now he's dripping back to his own 15-yard line, to the 12. Still wants to throw the ball, and he does throw it downfield, and it's picked off. Arkadelphia got the ball at the 42-yard line. Let's see what the flag is, although one would assume it's going to be a holding call.
Yeah, I think that play is going to stand. A holding call probably going against DeWitt. The quarterback, Courtney, doing a good job, doing his best Johnny Manziel impersonation of escaping the pocket and then rolling out to one side and then going to the other. So we're going to see holding call here. The Badgers are going to get the ball. Sammy Hawthorne with the interception. Again, Badgers going to have the ball here. A good play that time from the defense. And you hear this crowd loud and proud with the bells ringing. And a first down, this offense going to get back out on the field.
Courtney did a great job of staying alive on the play, but he kept dropping back and was back 15 yards from the line of scrimmage by the time he let go of the ball. So the long pass is intercepted, and Arkadelphia still has good field position with the catch at the 42-yard line of DeWitt. First down and 10, Arkadelphia's offense back out on the field. Defense comes up big with the turnover. Offense has an opportunity. Here's a running play. Harrison is hit hard immediately. He'll get 1 yard, and Arkadelphia has second down, 9 yards to go. I'll hand it to DeWitt now because they are fighting really hard as if this were a 0-0 game, and they trail at 35-12. This is a hard-working DeWitt team. You can see why they've had a successful run here at the end of the year. Arkadelphia lines up offensively on 2nd and 9 from the 41-yard line. Fake handoff. Turner keeps it. He's got some room to the 35. Breaks a tackle to the 30, 25, 20, to the 15, and he's out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That's vintage running from Cannon Turner.
Yeah, good run that time from him. We've seen DeWitt bring a whole lot of pressure, a whole lot of guys trying to get to the football, rushing that time and putting some pressure on Cannon Turner, but is able to follow his blockers. Good patient running from him, getting a first down and now inside the red zone as the Badgers line up in a hurry.
Arkadelphia to the line of scrimmage on first down from the 14. They're going to run it, and they're going to hand off to Harrison, who will break a tackle, get across the 10, and go down at the 8-yard line.
Yeah, good play that time from Kyron Harrison. Cannon Turner did a good job helping you out by selling the run that time for him, but elected to hand the ball to Kyron Harrison. He's able to break 2 tackles, just split in between them, and get a couple more yards and get inside the 10 now as the Badgers are knocking on the door once again.
The good runs often depend on good downfield blocking. Witten that time blocked his man to the ground all the way to the goal line. Here's a running play up the middle. Touchdown, Arkadelphia. Beautiful run as I think the handoff fooled a couple of defenders, and running right up the middle for the score is Arkadelphia's Kyron Harrison.
Kyron Harrison running in the end zone. You saw on the replay there, and you see him coming to the sideline now, celebrating a touchdown. The Badgers getting on the board like we talked about, wanted to come out strong, and they do, getting the touchdown, now potentially going up by 30 points here, and Kyron Harrison doing the job for them.
The kick up, and it's good again. He's had a perfect night. Ethan Savage, kicking on the evening, has not missed an extra point. It's Arkadelphia 42, DeWitt 12, 8:41 left third quarter, and we'll be back in 30 seconds.
Brian Bridges Roofing would like to thank the Arkadelphia community for its loyalty over the years. Operating in Arkadelphia for 47 years, the Bridges family has owned and operated the business and has built great relationships with local businesses such as Hardman Lumber and local insurance companies such as Austin Wingfield State Farm, Chad Kesterson Shelter Insurance, and Clark County Farm Bureau Insurance. We also send a special Go Badgers to our favorite Badger, our little brother, number 22, Trey Bledsoe. Go Badgers from Brian Bridges Roofing, 870-245-8268.
Arkadelphia is set to kick off as we are back to action. Arkadelphia with the touchdown, the first score of the third quarter with 8:41 left in the quarter. Arkadelphia 42, DeWitt 12. The Badgers will perhaps kick it very short, perhaps kick it high, but certainly keep it away from the young man who returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown, the first of two touchdowns in the first half for DeWitt. High kickoff, a flag is down. The fair catch was made at the 40-yard line, but they might just make him kick this one over again. That young man who has had an impressive night for DeWitt in a cause that has been uphill all the way against this Arkadelphia defense is their star receiver, Jonta Wright. He has been impressive. He is a senior, not a big guy, but he's got great speed.
Yeah, and we're going to have a re-kick here, like you said. A little bit of just a miscommunication there, but like you said, DeWitt still with the chance, although the Badgers did score and really on walking the line, walking the border of the good sportsmanship rule. But DeWitt, with the powerful offense that they have, definitely still have a chance to come out and stay in this ball game.
Arkadelphia was offside on the kickoff. They'll have to kick it again from the 35-yard line. Ethan Savage sets up. And once again, we expect a high and reasonably short kickoff. Keep the ball away from right. Here's the kick. This time it is returnable, and it'll be returned from the 28. This is Ticey. He's going to go to the 35, to the 40-yard line, and is driven down at that point. And it's first down and 10 for DeWitt. Very important possession for DeWitt, because if Arkadelphia gets the ball back, they're one score away from the mercy rule. DeWitt really wants to drive down and get a touchdown this time. They might not win this game, but they don't want to be mercy ruled.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I mean, this, like you said, this drive is absolutely crucial here. With it being, we're still, like, not even toward the halfway point of the third quarter, but like you said, we're getting very, very close to that good sportsmanship rule. And now with the quarterback, Courtney, coming out, really has a chance here to keep his team in the game.
DeWitt down by 30 with the football. Back to pass. Lots of pressure on the quarterback. He is rolling to his right, throwing the ball downfield and missing his receiver at the Arkadelphia 42-yard line. And it is second down and 10.
Want to give a little bit of a score update after a great play from the Badger defense, but looks like Gosnell just scored against Crossett. I think it might have been a pick six, a ball intercepted from Gosnell and returned for a touchdown. The score now sits Crossett 18, Gosnell 6 in the third quarter. Huge.
Ball at the 40-yard line. Gosnell is, I say Gosnell too, but I think if we were in Gosnell, we'd have to call it Gosnell. Of course, we're in Arkadelphia, so we're calling it DeWitt instead of DeWitt. You get various interpretations of this. From the 40-yard line, the Dragons, that's what we'll call them. From the 40, they'll throw it into the flat. Good pass to right, and he's got a chance to run, but he's hit immediately and dragged down, and his receiver's injured as he was tackled into the back of his receiver, Ticey. Tough play. Hope he's going to be all right. He's down at the 40-yard line. There was not a gain on the play. Wright tried to beat the defender, but as soon as he caught it, he was hit. And unfortunately, his receiver was blocking and had his back to the play, and they rolled up on him. So I think we're going to have a break in the action, and we'll take a break. On third down and 10, DeWitt will line up without one of its best receivers when we come back. We're going to hope that young man just has a bit of a stinger there and is going to be okay. 8:13 left. We're in the third quarter. Arkadelphia 42, DeWitt 12. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Turner Rogers Manning and Plyler CPA is a longtime supporter of the Arkadelphia Public School District. Turner Rogers Manning and Plyler has established a reputation for providing clients with outstanding services that include auditing, accounting, and tax and business consulting. Contact Turner Rogers Manning and Plyler today at 870-246-4563 or by visiting them at 305 Professional Park Drive in Arkadelphia. Turner Rogers Manning and Plyler says, "Go Badgers!"
We are glad to report that walking off the field under his own power is Terrence Ticey. He is a senior receiver for this team, and I'm sure he's had quite a good year for Dewitt, a very strong offensive team. He's a good receiver. We might see him again. I'm not sure, though. He's going to walk off under his own power, but he's limping a bit. So that senior might have played his last down of high school football. From the 39-yard line after a loss on the completed pass, it's third down for DeWitt. Seth Courtney at quarterback. He's a senior also. Might look to his brother, the sophomore. He'll throw it. He does look for his brother. His brother makes the catch. Just depends on the spot, though. He's driven back 10 yards after he made the catch. Will they put the ball at the 50? They will. Generous spot to the 50-yard line, first down and 10.
Yeah, good open receiver there. Courtney was able to connect with them and get a first down only just, or at least I think they're going to roll it a first down. They haven't moved the chains at all yet.
Now they're going to move the chains. They're going to mark it right at the 50. He was not quite to the 50 when he caught the ball. He was hit immediately, but apparently he possessed the ball, and the ball may have touched the 50-yard line. That's going to be the call, I guess. So it's going to be first down and 10 for DeWitt. Courtney to Courtney on the path. Seth to his younger brother, Dax, the two tallest players on the team. Back to pass is Seth Courtney. He'll fire the ball down the sideline, and it's incomplete. The offensive back now was grabbing the shoulder pad of the Arkadelphia defensive back, and a flag did go down, but that surely will be offensive pass interference, as defending well down there for Arkadelphia was Trey Bledsoe.
Yeah, I think Trey Bledsoe that time was a little bit held up on the play as the receiver just kind of holding on to him, not letting him to get to the play. Well,
no, I don't know.
I guess I'm wrong.
It's possible that something happened before we saw it, but what we saw was the offensive player pulling the jersey off the shoulder pad of the defensive player. But it's going to go against Arkadelphia, and the ball's set at the 35-yard line. Gee whiz. Well, if you're on the live stream, you have to go back right quick and look at that one for us, because it was a tough call against Trey Bledsoe, and he's very surprised himself. Arkadelphia lines up defensively, though. DeWitt keeps the ball. They'll keep the drive alive at the Arkadelphia 35-yard line. From the 35, the quarterback will keep the ball. He'll break through the line of scrimmage. He'll get yardage up to the 30, to the 27, maybe the 28-yard line, but a good gain on first down for Seth Courtney.
Yeah, there's going to be a flag down here. I think it's going to be a holding call.
Yeah, it's back in the backfield. Going to go against DeWitt this time. If I were cynical, I would call that a makeup call. I don't think that's what it was. I think that was actually holding. Not so sure about the interference call earlier, but regardless, it's a nice lead for the Badgers at 30 points, and now DeWitt's going to have to start from the Badger 45-yard line with first down and 20.
Yeah, not exactly what you want to see that time from DeWitt. But now still in Badger territory, still in this third quarter, but down by 30. You're going to have to put up a score here if you want to get back in this football.
They've had a hard time protecting their quarterback, so it's not too surprising that somebody would grab a jersey in the process. Now they're going to press the quarterback, and he'll throw the ball, bat it up in the air, and incomplete. Beautifully played by Trey Bledsoe. I mean, that was just a beautiful play.
Yeah, that time Trey Bledsoe was ever so close to getting an interception on the play. I mean, the quarterback, Courtney, once again threw the ball a little bit underthrown, and Trey Bledsoe was able to read it perfectly, able to get a hand on it, but not able to grab onto the ball. Is it going to fall incomplete now? Second and long. Courtney trying to find someone on the play, and now, once again, probably going to have some more pressure coming towards him.
Dax Courtney is more than a foot, well, more than a half a foot taller than Bledsoe, but he played him beautifully that time. Back to pass is Seth Courtney. He'll fire the ball to the sideline. It's caught. This time it's not going to be enough for a first down. They're going to stop him 2 yards short, and it will be third down. I'd say first down. He's 2 yards short of the original line of scrimmage is what I should have said. So it's third down, all right, but it's third down and 11, not third and short.
And here on this third down play inside the 40-yard line, you're probably going to expect for DeWitt to go for it if they don't get it on third down, being in a desperate situation here, but still wanting to convert. This Badger defense trying to hold strong, trying to keep this second half shutout here. This Badger defense did a good job so far in the second half, and a huge play here for them.
Third down, 11 yards to go for the Dragons. Back to pass with Seth Courtney. He'll throw a quick pass to the flat, and it's incomplete. Harrison supplies the defense as he knocks down the intended receiver, Ben Hackney.
Yeah, that time I think the receiver might have just looked up a little bit too soon and saw Kyron Harrison, and if I were him, I would have done the exact same thing and dropped the ball on the play. And now, with it being fourth down, a huge play for DeWitt. This Badger crowd going to have to get loud here on the play, but a huge down as we're going to see most likely DeWitt go for it.
Fourth down, 11 yards to go for the Dragons. They'll, of course, go for it, trailing by 40 here in the third quarter. Seth Courtney at quarterback will line up. His brother is to the right side, but he wants to throw, I believe, to a speedy receiver who drops the ball on the far side as he saw a safety coming. Oh, man, he had his hands on the ball but didn't pull it in. Jonta Wright has had some big plays tonight, but he missed an opportunity there. It was well defended by Arkadelphia, and Arkadelphia player is down, but he's up. He's going to be all right. It is first down coming for Arkadelphia. That was a fourth down play.
Yeah, not sure who that is. Able to just stand up. I think it might have been Jason Campbell there. Able to get up, but moving very gingerly now, being attended to in the middle of the field, but able to walk off under his own power. Looking like it might be something in his arm, probably, in his right arm. Looks like he's holding that, but able to walk off under his own power. Is that especially what you like to see?
Yeah, very important defensive end for Arkadelphia. He will walk off under his own power. Helped out by Terry DeWitt down there, the trainer on duty tonight. First down, Arkadelphia at its own 36-yard line. 6:19 left. We're in the third quarter. Arkadelphia 42 and DeWitt 12.
Yeah, the Badger offense coming out in their own territory, but with the chance to apply the lovely good sportsmanship rule that the Badgers have been so blessed to see so many times this season. Now coming out this offense trying to get to that.
First time they've had the ball with a chance to apply a knockout blow here and put it in the good sportsmanship rule. In motion comes Thomas. They hand it to him. To the near side he comes, cuts it up the field, and he's got good room. To the 50, 45, 40, and they'll drag him down at the 30-yard line. Good running through the secondary by Braden Thomas.
Yeah, good job that time from Buster Thomas. What you love to see is him going to the left side, but then the awareness to cut the ball back upfield after great blocking from his other receivers on the play, able to cut it upfield, getting a huge chunky yardage there on the play and picking up a first down, getting into Dragon territory. Badger offense, another great job on first down, and now even closer to that goal line.
Ball spotted at the 30-yard line. It is first down and 10 for Arkadelphia. They go the pistol formation this time. Harrison is the running back. 5 in motion going to the right side. They're going to hand it off to Harrison coming back to the left. To the 25. He'll break down a defender but step out of bounds in the process, and a flag goes down. We'll see if Harrison got into the face mask of the defender while he was trying to avoid the tackle. Not sure what the call is going to be, but the run was a nice one inside the 20-yard line. If it stands, it's a first down. Waiting for the call. It's going to be a face mask, and it's going to be against DeWitt. So he had the stiff arm legally, but they grabbed his face mask, so that's going to be not only a first down run, but now half the distance to the goal. I know they're going to call the 5-yard variety, so that'll take it to the 13-yard line.
Yeah, good play that time. Once again, Kyron Harrison running the football, getting a first down and a couple more yards with that face mask call. Now inside the 15-yard line, and Badger offense now with the three-headed dragon once again in the backfield.
2 running backs, and the quarterback is Braden Buster Thomas. He'll take the snap, and he'll run the ball himself. To the right side he goes. He cuts it up the field. There's a good move to the 5, to the 2, to the 1. Touchdown, Arkadelphia.
You see a little bit of a juke move there, and then you see another one and another one and another one, as we're going to see on the replay here exactly what I'm talking about. Buster Thomas taking the snap. Cannon Turner to his right, Kyron Harrison to his left. Takes the ball for himself. Great blocking by Harrison, and Turner able to get up the field and push his way and get into the end zone for the Badger touchdown. A great play from him. And the good sportsmanship rule, we're saying hey to that because it's now the score is 48-12, Arkadelphia.
Extra point attempt coming. Savage's kick is up, and it is good. So it's Arkadelphia 49 and DeWitt 12. 5:27 left in the third quarter. We'll be back with more Badger action here in the playoffs. Coming back in 30 seconds.
Call State Farm agent Austin Wingfield at 870-246-2162 today.
Arkadelphia 49, DeWitt 12 with 5:27 left in the third quarter, and we move now to the good sportsmanship rule, so the clock's going to just continue to roll for a while now as DeWitt will send its offense back out after this kickoff return. Badgers set to kick off and play some defense. We'll see how many of the younger players get some action here for the rest of this ball game, as Arkadelphia often will play its younger guys in a game that has gone to the good sportsmanship rule. It's not that DeWitt has not put up a good fight tonight, but Arkadelphia has just overpowered them at the line of scrimmage and with skill players tonight. Here is a high, short kickoff. It is going to be fair caught at the 33-yard line. I tell you what, Jack, we've talked about that three-headed monster, Harrison, Thomas, Turner, all three of them tonight on the ground, averaging more than 10 yards per carry.
I mean, honestly, you can't really ask for anything more, and I don't just mean in the game tonight, but in a running attack like that. Three guys, all very different skill sets, but all have in common that they know how to run the football, and doing a great job of that tonight, these three guys are, and really showing to the rest of the state that the Badgers are a team to be reckoned with on the ground.
Arkadelphia is going to begin to make some substitutions now. We'll bring those to you. There's a pass across the middle caught by Dax Courtney. He's going to have yardage up to the 49-yard line. These younger guys are going to have to play really well against this high-powered offense that the first-teamers were able to stop just about cold tonight. That spot is to the 49-yard line of DeWitt, first down and 10. We're going to bring Chris Babb on with us here in just a minute as we keep track of some of the younger guys who are getting action. And we will we'll see the quarterback drive to his right and try to throw it downfield. He'll throw it, intercepted on the sideline. Arkadelphia came up with another big play. Turnover, and with the play was Malcolm Turner, senior, out on the field making another interception this year. Not a starter, but a key player at practice, and now a key player in more than one game. He has an interception for a touchdown this year, and now he's got an interception here in a playoff game.
You love to see that, the senior coming in with the Badgers up by a lot of points, but still the effort is still there, and that time it pays off. Malcolm Turner getting the key interception. Badger offense going to come back out on the field now. Like we said, we're in the good sportsmanship rule, but nonetheless, Badgers doing a great job, and that defense really showing up tonight and paid off there with a Malcolm Turner interception.
Arkadelphia will send its younger guys out on offense now. Coming out offensively, some younger guys getting some action. Here's Bailey at running back. We'll talk about him a lot. He's going to be tackled, but he's got a gain on the play, and he's a backup player that averages about 6 yards per carry. He's going to be quite a good Badger to watch in the future. On the carry, the sophomore Braylon Bailey.
Yeah, Bailey, that time getting the call. And, I mean, we've talked about him so many times tonight, the sophomore who only comes in normally when we get to these kind of situations. But when he does come in, you see how powerful and how quick of a running back he is. We just saw that time on the play.
Arkadelphia looking to the sideline for the play. After this play, Chris Babb's going to join us, and we think we got a strong signal right now. Right, Chris?
We think so. We're showing it on our stream that we're good. But yes.
Here's a running play to the right side, enough for a first down. Once again, Bailey is on the carry. Arkadelphia has a first down near midfield. the weather may have played havoc with some people's internet signal tonight, but right now our system is showing that it's a good stream, so hopefully you're seeing that. Now, you might see a little bit of a foggy picture because of the mist that has continued throughout most of the night. That has made it difficult to keep the lens clean, or clear, I should say, just like the window in front of us. But what we have seen is a good Arkadelphia performance tonight. Badgers mercy ruling the opponent again. Here's Thomas. He'll break one tackle. He'll be driven down at the 49-yard line. But Braylon Thomas is a tough runner. That's a tough 2 yards. Bailey, I should say.
Let's talk about some of these underclassmen on the offensive line. A lot of sophomores. You see Braylon Bailey right there with the running back. Offensive line. You've got, you see, look at the wrong cameras, Reese Nolan, a senior, getting some action on there on the offensive line. Also, Tucker Johnson, the center, Matthew Porter, the right tackle, Brady Curtis, the right guard, Brady Curtis, the right tackle, Jayshawn Davis in there at sophomore, Alex Lloyd, the quarterback. A couple of freshmen in there, and Donovan Whitten and Latonio Hughes also.
Linebackers blitzing and a run blitz that time, so they stopped Bailey from being able to get back to the line of scrimmage. A couple of players mix it up, but they'll just separate them, and everything's going to be kosher here, and they'll keep it going. Third down coming for Arkadelphia, still at midfield.
Yeah, good play that time. The DeWitt Dragon defense able to stop Bailey on the play, not allowing him to get any yards, that time running the football. And now a third and long situation. The quarterback, Loy, in at quarterback. Going to be interesting to see whether or not they throw the ball here on third.
Actually, three freshman receivers out there. Trip Campbell also a third freshman.
And a pass across the middle, an open receiver. He's got him to the 30. He's to the 20. He's to the 10. Touchdown, Arkadelphia. Jayshawn Davis with another score.
Oh, my goodness. You really can't ask for anything more. The second-team offense coming in, making the play. Jayshawn Davis getting his second touchdown of the night, this time from a different quarterback, Austin Loy, throwing the ball to him, connecting over the middle of the field and getting a touchdown for the Badgers. A good job from them, getting some more points on the board. Exactly what you want to see here at the end of the third quarter. Alex Lloyd, the quarterback, connecting with Jayshawn Davis and getting another touchdown for the Badgers.
Nice pass, great run after the catch. And on for the extra point attempt is Savage, and his kick is good again. He's perfect on the night. Arkadelphia goes to a 56-12 score here as we end the third quarter. The end of the third quarter has arrived, and Arkadelphia leads at 56-12 against DeWitt. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Thanks for meeting me here.
No problem. You know, Farm Bureau Insurance has local agents making this kind of thing real easy.
Well, your auto insurance has saved me a lot on old Becky here.
Harold, your dog swallowed the remote again.
Who's that?
Older Becky.
Oh. Ugh.
Real service, real people. That's Farm Bureau Insurance.
Call Clark County Farm Bureau today at 870-246-4554.
Jayshawn Davis has scored 2 touchdowns tonight. The sophomore having a big night. His first was on a run, this time a pass reception. It's the only passing touchdown of the night for Arkadelphia. Loy to Davis for the score, and Arkadelphia leads at 56-12 here in the second round of the playoffs against the DeWitt Dragons. And DeWitt is set to receive the kickoff now, and we're going to fly through the fourth quarter because once again we're into the good sportsmanship rule. Here's the kick by Savage. He'll punch it downfield. It'll bounce at the 25. It'll roll to the 15. It is still rolling, and a Dragon picks it up and slips down on the turf at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, great kick that time, I guess, from Ethan Savage. The ball just rolling all the way to the sideline. I think DeWitt was just kind of hoping that the ball would go out of bounds so they could get the ball at the 35-yard line, but that ball just kept rolling slower and slower, and with it being a little bit slick, the ball probably not going to roll as much tonight. And the ball eventually did stop. DeWitt was able to pick it up, but then fall down right there at about the 15-yard line.
So the Dragons will send their first-team offense out again. Let's see if some of their younger guys get into the game. Their senior quarterback is still out there. He's going to throw it into the flat, and a huge hit as soon as the catch is made. Just a huge hit. Arkadelphia Defensive back Malcolm Turner is having a big night. He just got an interception, and this time he leveled the receiver as soon as he caught the ball. Loss on the play of 3.
A big hit that time from Malcolm Turner. Like you said, a big second half for him. Getting the interception, then immediately after, the very next play that he's on the field, a huge hit on the receiver that time. Big play for him, now making it 2nd and long.
Seth Courtney at quarterback. Lines up this time with a running back to his side, and he is going to run the ball up the middle. There's some yardage against that young defense, but a gain on the play. Now Arkadelphia will pick it up, but a whistle did go down, and the running back is slow getting up. He's a good running back, but he hasn't carried the ball many times tonight. Josh Dabner. And he's going to be down, so we're going to take a moment before we will resume play, and we'll take a break also. They're going to stop the clock. 10:29 left in the fourth quarter. Arkadelphia 56, Arkadelphia 56, and DeWitt 12. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
The J.R. Eldredge Show, your local source for in-depth discussion of Arkadelphia Badger football. Join the coach of the Arkansas 4A state champion with host Caleb Bird as they recap last week's game, highlight next week's opponent, and give you all the latest conference standings. Tune in to the J.R. Eldredge Show on the Arkadelphia Public Schools YouTube channel and on Sudden League Cable, Channel 10, Tuesday through Thursday nights at 7. The J.R. Eldredge Show is produced by Ouachita Baptist University students.
Get real attention on your auto insurance. Get real auto, home, and life insurance. Get Farm Bureau Insurance.
Thanks for meeting me here.
Arkadelphia's defense begins to line up because the running back will come off the field. He's all right, but he's going to limp, and I don't believe he's going to come back in the game, as he may have seen his last action of the night. We still have 10:29 left in the game, but we are in the mercy rule. Arkadelphia leads it 56-12 over DeWitt. Courtney lines up, but he's got to wait for his teammate to be able to completely leave the field before we get back to action. Younger guys in the lineup, and we'll bring you some of those names here momentarily. I see one of them is a freshman. Donovan Whitten has checked in. He's listed in the program as a ball boy because he's a 9th grader, but he's in the game. Love to see that.
Yeah, Donovan Whitten out there. You also see Ollie Ware, Alex Turley at one of the linebackers, Darian Beard, a defensive line. We'll try to get some of those other names as well.
Here's the play. Another running play for DeWitt, and a little bit of room, but not much, as Arkadelphia will defend it well. He's going to have a first down, but only another yard or two after that. Arkadelphia takes the ball away. These young guys are excited now. They're taking the ball away at the end of every play. But it's a first down for the Dragons. Clock running now just about to 10 minutes. We're going to go under 10 minutes into the ball game before the next play is underway.
Another freshman, Max Wilson, out there. Now he's going to be replaced. Actually, Kendrick Knox is going to come in now and replace Elijah Wheeler. So a few other linemen, Landon Kewen, also on the defensive line there for Arkadelphia.
Sophomores, freshmen, young guys on the field. Here's a pass play, incomplete. Looked like the receiver ran the wrong pattern. The intended receiver was a starting split end, Ben Hackney, but he ran straight down the field, and the pass went to the sideline.
Yeah, it might have been a little bit of miscommunication there. The pass was thrown, but the receiver never really turned around to look for the ball to come his way, just falling incomplete as the clock continues to tick now. Under 10 minutes left in this fourth quarter, and this young defense for the Badgers, for the most part, coming out and doing a good job here to start this fourth quarter.
Jonta Wright is still in the game. You'd think they'd throw to him, but instead they're going to run. And a running play up the middle gets some yardage this time, up to the 35-yard line. Not enough for a first down, but some good trap blocking up the middle that time for DeWitt. Mostly still the starters in for the Dragons. Courtney has had a good career, a good senior season at quarterback. He's playing his last football of his high school career, and his brother at receiver has 2 more years left, so the name Courtney is going to stay around for a while in DeWitt. I suppose, especially because their father's the head coach, so it's going to stay around even longer than the next couple of years we expect. And here's a run to the right side, and the running back is going to get some yardage, very close to a first down. He might have the first down on the carry that time for DeWitt. His first carry of the night is Deontay Starks. He's a junior running back.
Yeah, good job that time from Starks, the running back, getting the call on the play, running to the right side and getting just enough yards that time to pick up a first down, really aware of where he needs to get to pick up a first down, and that time is able to do so as they're going to move the chains here.
Ball at the 39-yard line. DeWitt comes back to the line of scrimmage. Arkadelphia. A couple of guys who work hard at practice in the upper classes, but mostly sophomores and freshmen in for the Badgers. Here's a running play, and it's only going to get 2 yards. Well defended. Knocks in on the tackle. Also for Arkadelphia, helping on that tackle was Darian Beard. He's another sophomore.
Yeah, these young guys getting a chance to make a name for themselves in a playoff game. You love to see experience like that in a big game like this. Obviously, home game, especially home playoff game, you love to see that in front of a big Badger crowd. These younger guys showing out and performing a really good display here.
On second down and long, Seth Courtney calls out the snap count, fakes a running play. Now he wants to pass. He'll run to the right and take the ball. He'll keep it across the 50 to the 45 to the 41-yard line. He's out of bounds at that spot. And that's a first down in Arkadelphia territory as the clock runs down now to 7 minutes to play in the game. Oh, but a holding call is going to bring it back.
All the way back.
Way back.
Well, you could see it in the backfield as they put pressure on Courtney, and then suddenly the pressure was gone, and he ran down the sideline. I think some holding occurred at that point, Jack.
Yeah, not at all what you want to see if you're a fan of the Dragons here watching tonight. Courtney had a lot of space out on the right side, but I guess one of the reasons why was because one of the defensive players for Arkadelphia was withheld on the play and not able to get to the quarterback. Like we've seen so many times tonight, the pressure from Arkadelphia has come from every single player, it seems like, tonight on the defensive side of the ball for the Badgers. And now the second teamers coming in doing the exact same thing here against this Dragon offensive line.
Dakota Black, a new player, comes in at linebacker for Arkadelphia, sophomore.
Ball's back at the 31-yard line, and the Dragons will have a rollout pass. Going to throw it to the flat. Now he'll throw it downfield into the flat and incomplete. He tried to get it to his brother Dax, but he just threw it a little too far ahead of his brother and misjudged his brother's speed.
You would think that family members know themselves.
I would have thought so, but he misjudged at that time, I guess, because it was incomplete on the near sideline, and it's third down, but the clock continues to run despite the incomplete pass because we are in the mercy rule tonight. Arkadelphia 56, DeWitt 12, 5:34 left, clock running. You are in tune to KSWH 102.5 in Arkadelphia, The Pulse. We're glad to be on the radio in Arkadelphia as well as with you here on our video live stream. Third down and long for the Dragons. Arkadelphia with a couple of safeties deep. And he'll fire it deep across the middle, and he gets it to his big-time receiver. That's Jonta Wright with the catch across the 50, 45 to the 40 to the 38. Make it the 39-yard line. First down and 10 with the pass from senior to senior. And Jonta Wright gets one more catch in his high school career and a good run after the catch.
That was a really good catch that time. The receiver Wright having to slow down his run and turn around and catch the ball. Trying to catch it in stride, but had to hold up a little bit there and able to get it and pick up a first down now in Badger territory. Good job from him, and even better job that time, a throw from the quarterback.
Now they want to run it. Here is Courtney. He'll keep it. He's got 5. He's got 10. Still running. Arkadelphia trying to catch him on the far sideline as he cuts that way to the 20 and out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Good run by the senior quarterback. Jonta Wright, by the way, came in with 67 catches and 1,000 pass receiving yards this year. And he's added to that tonight, but his biggest play was the kickoff return on the opening kickoff of the game. That, I suppose, was the highlight tonight for the fans on the visitor side.
Yeah, this is a DeWitt team that won the program's first playoff game since 1981 last week against Riverview. And so these seniors are trying to finish on a strong note after what's been a rough night.
Ball at the 15, though. Throw it out to Wright, and he's got some room to run. He's to the 12, to the 10, down the sideline. He might get there, and he does. Touchdown for DeWitt on the pass to the flat. Jonta Wright with the catch and the run down the sideline. So the senior gets one more touchdown, and that will make the DeWitt fans happy for a little while after they saw a lot of scoring by Arkadelphia. Clock is going to stop just momentarily. Now it's going to run again. 3:28 left, clock running in the football game. 2 offensive touchdowns for DeWitt tonight and a kickoff return for a touchdown. They'll go for 2. They are not known for the kicking game.
No, the public address is incorrect. It was a touchdown, but they have not given it on the.
Well, we were correct in calling it a touchdown, and so they are going for 2 now. The ball is not out at the 3-yard line. They will go for 2, and they'll throw it to the end zone. There's a catch, and it is good. So the 2-point conversion is good. That catch was made for DeWitt by Colby James. Let me try that again. It was not James. It was Jace Ringo with the catch. Can't take it away from Ringo. He got that catch on the 2-point conversion. And so 8 more points gives DeWitt 20 tonight. Not bad work against Arkadelphia. The Badgers, though, have scored 56. We'll keep it right here as we get ready for the kickoff, and Arkadelphia will have the ball one more time, and younger guys get a chance to run that offense one more time.
You really do love to see it. These younger guys that don't get to play as often, obviously, you see they stand along the sidelines all game and wait patiently to get in the ball game, and finally at the end of the game they get their chance, their time to shine. We saw a few minutes ago Alex Loy, the sophomore quarterback, connect with Jayshawn Davis, another sophomore, for a touchdown. Now coming out, might only be able to run another play or two before the last whistle blows with just under 2 minutes left. The clock keeps ticking, but still you do really like to see it, especially in a playoff game. Obviously it doesn't matter a whole lot at this point, but still that experience is so important for each and every one of these players in this ballgame.
Watched Arkadelphia, I should say, still expecting an onside kick, and that is what we expect also, as they always go for 2, it seems, and they always onside kick, it seems. Arkadelphia has recovered all of these so far. Line drive shot, this time returnable from the 29-yard line up to the 30 to the 40-yard line and knocked out of bounds. Good return of that kickoff by Jayshawn Davis. Arkadelphia has nice field position, but they may not be in the mood to do very much with it, as we have a running clock and only 1:07 left.
Yeah, there's not a lot of time left here, a minute left, like I said. Might be able to get one more playoff potentially, as this second team of the Badgers is huddling up on the sideline, getting ready to go back out on the field. But the Badgers tonight done an outstanding job really on all fronts here. Is going to come out probably for one final snap of the game, just on all fronts. Did a great job here and able to capitalize it with this play here, probably going to be the last one of the game.
Alex Loy at quarterback. Last snap is going to be a handoff and a run to the near side. There's 5 yards. There's 10. A good run, and knocked out of bounds on the carry was Bailey, who did a fine job. Some good blocking downfield as well. Don't know if they'll snap it again. We're down to 25 seconds left.
Looks like that is it, as the Badgers are lining up here on the sideline. I think that might be it for tonight, as the players are lining up, getting ready to go shake hands. Badgers going to pick up a win, and it's another good night on Friday night.
Arkadelphia 56, DeWitt 20, and Arkadelphia will advance to the 3rd round of the playoffs. 2-1. And that's a final score. Arkadelphia 56, DeWitt 20. We'll be back with the postgame show. And we'll enjoy bringing you that, talking about offensive and defensive players of the game statistics. We'll talk about the scores around the state when we come back with the postgame show in 2 minutes.
Everyone's known for something. Ours is simple. At the Southwest Auto Collection and iDriveSWA.com, you get the absolute lowest price on America's best brands: Ford, Lincoln, Chevy, GMC, Buick, and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. The best selection and the lowest prices guaranteed. And we deliver anywhere in the state, plus tires for life. It really is that simple. Visit us today, the Southwest Auto Collection, I-30 exit 78 in Arkadelphia, or online at iDriveSWA.com.
Locally owned and operated, Welch Funeral Home has been serving the Arkadelphia community since 2005. Our goal at Welch Funeral Home is to offer every family that will allow us to serve them the most caring, dignified, professional service at the most affordable price. With over 40 years of experience in the funeral home industry, owner Tim Welch and Welch Funeral Home have also been longtime supporters of the Arkadelphia Badgers and Lady Badgers.
Contact Welch Funeral Home at 870-230-1400 or visit them at 202 South 4th Street near downtown Arkadelphia.
Turner & Turner is a general practice law firm that focuses on consumer protection, personal injury, and civil litigation. To us, the practice of law is about service. Our clients aren't just cases to us. They are people who need our help solving legal issues. Turner & Turner actively supports local civic and charitable groups. Our attorneys will take the time to get to know you, your circumstances, and your goals. Turner & Turner Law Firm. We're in this together. Your team and ours.
Angry Goat Media is home to Follow the Badgers. Get your business booming today with the exceptional web design and development, photography, video production, and graphic design services. Angry Goat Media is the perfect company to get the job done. We're always ready to customize our services to your business requirements, needs, and budget. Angry Goat Media. Innovation, not imitation.
Final score tonight from Badger Stadium, Arkadelphia 56 and DeWitt, the Dragons, 20. Arkadelphia did enforce the good sportsmanship rule tonight with a very fine first half followed by a fine second half, but the first score was DeWitt on the opening kickoff, a 93-yard kickoff return by Jonta Wright. They went for two and did not convert on that, so it was 6-0 with 11:47 left in the first quarter, just 13 seconds into the game. But then Arkadelphia scored on its first possession. Turner scored on a run, made it 7-6 after the extra point. Then Turner scored his second touchdown 2 possessions later. Arkadelphia led it 14-6. Turner that time on a 2-yard run. Then a touchdown by Jay-Sean Davis on a 40-yard touchdown run, 21-6 after the extra point by Savage. Harrison scored his first touchdown of the night next with 9:29 left in the second quarter. It was 28-6 after the extra point. Ricky Rogers Jr., the All-State defensive end, playing some offense this year. He scored on a pass reception. It was 35-6 after Savage made another extra point. And then before halftime, a touchdown for DeWitt as Courtney threw to his brother Courtney. It was Seth to Dax, and it was 35-12 at halftime. In the second half, after a couple of possessions, one for each team, Harrison got a touchdown for Arkadelphia to make it 42-12. 8:41 left in the third quarter. That was a 14-yard run. Then Thomas scored his touchdown tonight in the third quarter. 5:27 left. That also was on a running play. 49-12 was the score. Then Lloyd to Davis with the second teamers in after we went to the good sportsmanship rule. That was a long touchdown pass in the third quarter, the very last play of the third quarter. It was 56-12. Arkadelphia in the lead, and then Jonta Wright, the star player for DeWitt, staying in the ball game against Arkadelphia's younger players, got a touchdown pass, and a 2-point conversion followed, making the final score 56-20. When we come back, we've got a key score we're going to bring you as another game that is important to Arkadelphia and to this conference is coming down to the wire. So we'll come back with a final score. Hopefully, we think a final score in just a moment from the Nashville game, and we'll have a lot of other scores, including the matchup between the two teams that are trying to get to Arkadelphia next week. And we'll bring all that with you, or bring all that to you, along with statistics and coach interviews. We'll do all of that when we come back in 2 minutes.
Price & Company Insurance and Bonds in Arkadelphia is a 100% fully independent agency, meaning that you'll be working with insurance agents who have an in-depth knowledge of multiple insurance products, companies, and guidelines, not just one. Contact Price & Company Insurance and Bonds today for your needs at 1015 Caddo Street in Arkadelphia or by calling 870-246-5573. Price & Company Insurance and Bonds says, "Go Badgers!"
Under perfect conditions, your car traveling at 65 miles per hour can stop in about 300 feet. That's the length of a football field.
But a fully loaded tractor trailer, one that weighs 80,000 pounds, will take 2 football fields to stop. And that's if the driver is rested, paying attention, and the truck and load is properly maintained.
If you're in an accident with a big truck, call 1-800-CAR-WRECK.
Get the experienced team that's going to be on your side, by your side.
As a family-owned sporting goods supplier since 1950, Southwest Sporting Goods understands the value of customer service and is committed to providing the best quality customer service and merchandise available. Southwest Sporting Goods is located in Arkadelphia, but also has salesmen that cover the entire state of Arkansas to help ensure that their customers will receive the best customer service and pricing that can be found. Southwest Sporting Goods, located in downtown Arkadelphia, supporting the Badgers since 1950.
What if a bank didn't just make home loans, but taught responsible home ownership? What if a bank didn't just make business loans, but actually trained successful entrepreneurs? And what if a bank didn't just help you use credit, but helped you build and repair it? That would be a different kind of bank. Southern Bancorp, a bank on a mission to be wealth builders for everyone. Learn how you can bank differently at banksouthern.com/whatif.
We're back to the postgame show at Badger Stadium. Arkadelphia was the winner tonight. Badgers 56 and DeWitt 20. Arkadelphia with the win will move to the third round of the playoffs. Looks like they're going to play Crossett. Crossett tonight is leading Gosnell 31-6, and so Crossett will be the opponent. It looks like we'll talk more about that matchup later. First, let me tell you that Nashville is in a fight for its life right now. Nashville 35, Dardanelle 34, 157 remains in that game. Dardanelle just scored but missed the two-point conversion that would have put them ahead, and so they're down by one and probably about to onside kick against Nashville. Nashville trying to survive in the second round of the playoffs against Dardanelle. Well, Arkadelphia has mercy ruled its first two opponents in the playoffs this year, and tonight they did it in fine fashion with some great offensive work. Arkadelphia had 5 different players score touchdowns tonight. 2 touchdowns for Cannon Turner. Jay Sean Davis, the sophomore, scored 2 touchdowns, 1 on a rush and 1 on a pass reception. 2 touchdowns for Harrison. He's got 32 rushing touchdowns and 2 pass receptions for touchdowns this year. Thomas scored a touchdown, and Ricky Rogers Jr. also scored a touchdown for Arkadelphia. We'll have in just a moment a full statistical report from Jim Rothwell. Until we get there, let's bring in Chris Babb and talk a little bit about this matchup down on the field. Jack Bennington, in just a few moments, will have an interview with Arkadelphia head coach J.R. Eldridge. The playoffs so far are playing pretty much as one would expect, Chris, but that Nashville game is going to be interesting, and we should be able to give a final score before we go off the air. First of all, though, the Badgers look strong as ever tonight.
Oh, they did. They, last week we talked about coming out and setting the tone early. Tonight it was somewhat the opposite, as DeWitt ran the opening kickoff back for a touchdown, but then after that it was all Arkadelphia. They responded nicely, put a couple of nice offensive drives together, and I really think the different looking formations in Week 12, when you're able to throw a different wrinkle in, and probably not all they have there either. So, let's put something new on film, and so now I believe in talking with Coach Moreland last week, he said of all the different plays that they ran, they didn't run out of a single formation more than twice. They ran 23 different plays. Not a single play was not a single formation was used more than twice. So it gets a lot of preparation on the opponent's defense. And it looks like that opponent next week will be the Crossett Eagles, who were the champion of the 4A8. It'll be the second time in 2 years that Arkadelphia has gone on the road to the champion of the 4A8. Last year it was at Warren. This year Crossett won the 4A8 by defeating they went undefeated in the conference, defeated Warren in Week 4, the first conference season, by 3. So the Crossett Eagles are for real, and it'll be a big game for Arkadelphia in extreme southeast Arkansas next week.
Let's talk about those new formations, because they worked well tonight. We've seen that pattern in the last several games. First of all, you go with those 3 really great players for Arkadelphia, not only Cannon Turner and Harrison, but also Thomas, who got a lot of experience at quarterback while Cannon Turner was hurt. But now with all 3 of them healthy, they have been lining up side by side in the backfield, but they did it differently tonight by also bringing another back in. So they had a pistol formation with star players to the left and right of the quarterback, who was Thomas in the formation. It just means that they can do anything they want to from that formation. So it just gives the opponent one more thing to prepare for, with Arkadelphia putting dangerous people in multiple positions.
It's bad enough to have to prepare for Turner, Thomas, and Harrison, but then when you throw Jay Sean Davis back there, and Jay Sean is listed, as we pull up the program, Jay Sean's listed at 5'11", 220. I think he's grown a little bit since that roster was submitted, but he's every bit of 6 foot, over 220, and once he gets going in the open field, he's got some speed. And so now you add a fourth
threat back there. They're all standing back there together. Pick your poison, and you just got to take it. And that's what the opponents have done to this point.
It's also possible to do this kind of thing, Chris, because these guys have so much experience. You're talking about some seniors, of course, who played a lot of football. Even the younger guys, if they played in the last year or 2 years for Arkadelphia, they've had more games of experience than just about anybody in the state.
It's got to be. There's no 4A team who has played more football games over the course of the last 2+ years. This is the 42nd game that this group has played, not counting the ones who were pulled up as freshmen, Cannon and Kyron. So this was the 42nd game, 15 in 2017, 15 in 2018, and now 12. That's a lot of experience. You think about, we talk about it some on the pregame show, and we've talked about it here. You think that there are a lot of high school football players that play 10th, 11th, and 12th grade year that play 30 games total in those 3 years, not making the playoffs. Now, obviously, some of these guys didn't play as much in 2017, but even still, that's still 15 games last year, plus all of that practice.
All of that practice is key, right? I mean, even if you're not starting as a sophomore, you're getting extra weeks of practice. You're getting into some games like this one that are mercy rule games. You're getting a lot of experience before you step up as a starter later in your career. So it really has paid dividends every single year. Every year of success pays dividends for the next year. By the way, we did get an update that Nashville recovered that onside kick, so it looks like they're going to win. Is that a final at this point? It is. So Nashville escaped with a 35-34 win because Dardanelle decided to go for two instead of kick the extra point.
Yeah, 35-34, 2 minutes left. Dardanelle calls a timeout, lines up for two. Out of the timeout, an offensive lineman jumped, so it caused a false start, penalized him 5 yards. Then the decision again: do you kick or go for it? They chose to go for it. Had a rollout pass to the right, a little too high and wide for the receiver, and it went out of bounds. Wasn't really close. But yeah, so Nashville escapes, and they'll move on to the third round as well.
If you didn't want to see Nashville play Arkadelphia at any point again this year, then you might be disappointed. If you're cheering for the conference, then that's a nice win for the conference. This is the toughest conference in the state, and they're showing it here in the playoffs just like they did in the regular season.
All right, 3 teams will end up in the quarterfinals. I didn't hear a Robinson final, but I did see that I think I heard a score that they were up big early in the game as well. So, 3 teams in the quarterfinals for the 4A7. It's a tough conference, and the postseason in 2019 is showing that as well.
Let's go to Jim Rothwell. Jim, final stats for tonight.
All right, let's talk about the Dragons. Again, we expected from them a lot of passing. Courtney was 18 out of 35 for right at 201 yards and 2 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions. So we expected them to throw a lot. That held them under their average. I think we've been averaging about 225, 226. But the key, you've got to have a little bit of running game, a rush, to keep those defensive linemen off of you. And Arkadelphia just shut down the running game. 20 carries for 51 yards. That's just a little over 2 yards a carry. Most of that came on that last drive. Before that last drive, they probably had about 40 yards or 35 or so. Again, great job defensively up front with the pressure on the quarterback and also shutting down the running game to just make them have to throw. And then when you make them have to throw, you put yourself in a position to make some plays like the interceptions and some sacks.
Dardanelle got the touchdown on the opening kickoff, Jim, and they had a lot of enthusiasm after that. But Arkadelphia took control of the line of scrimmage, and that really was the difference in the game.
It really was. Even when the quarterback had a little bit of time, it was always just time for a short pass. And first few times, Arkadelphia was off of that, but then they began to close on that real quick. And what you see is the speed of Arkadelphia, the athleticism of the defensive line. Dewitt couldn't match the speed either offensively or defensively. Wright was probably the only one with enough speed to stay with several of the Arkadelphia players. And again, on the lines, it's the athleticism too, not just size, but the athleticism, strength, agility from people like Jason Campbell and Ricky Rogers. The linebacker, Sammy Hawthorne's just a solid athlete as well. Of course, you got Kai Harrison, you got Cannon Turner playing safety for much of the game early. So you've got some great athletes on defense as well. Offensively, it was the running game again, as we've seen. 34 carries for 386 yards. Interesting, the 3 main rushers, Harrison, Thomas, and Turner, all averaged over 10 yards per carry. 2 of them were over 100 yards. Harrison had 13 carries for 148. Turner had 10 carries for 118. Then Thomas touched the ball 5 times for 55 yards. They all scored TDs. Plus, you had Davis, 1 carry for 40 yards. So you factor him in. They had 4 rushers averaging over 10 yards a carry and scored 6 touchdowns. Passing was effective. There were a couple of missed passes that would have been nice, but again, 5 out of 8 for 99 yards and 2 touchdowns. If Arkadelphia can throw complete 50-60% of the passes and get around 100 yards, it makes a big difference in how the running game goes. Probably the only negative was really the number of penalties, 7 for 70 yards, and a couple of pass interference calls there. 1 fumble, and that was the only turnover there. So a good night other than maybe the penalties, and that's something you can work on.
All right, we've got Down on the Field an interview, so we'll go to that. This is Jack Bennington with Arkadelphia head coach J.R. Eldridge.
Down on the field now, Jack Bennington joined by Coach J.R. Eldridge. Coach, team came out with a win tonight, 56-20 in the second round of the playoffs. How does your team feel?
It feels really good. Get to play through Thanksgiving. Very, very thankful for that. It's our goal every year, and so thankful these coaches, players, just had a great week of practice and led into a great game tonight.
And with the scene tonight, Buster Thomas, Cannon Turner, and Kyron Harrison all in the backfield at the same time. How do you try and manage having those 3 guys in the backfield at the same time and trying to figure out who you're supposed to give the ball in any given play?
Well, Coach Moreland and Coach Matlock do a great job of being able to see what we need to see on the iPad and see how they're aligned to us. Do a great job of calling the plays. Coach Moreland does a great job play calling. So we want to give the ball to whoever's gonna produce in that situation. And, I think everybody got touches tonight, so very thankful for that.
And now, like you said, going to be playing into Thanksgiving week. Absolutely great thing for the Badgers once again get a chance to do. How's your team going to prepare with it being a break and with it, being the holidays? How's your team still going to come out and go into the week with the same mindset?
We're going to do the same things we normally do. First two days, Monday and Tuesday, we'll be on a normal schedule. Wednesday we'll practice in the morning and eat Thanksgiving meal together. And then Thursday have our normal run through that we do in the morning. Try to invite all Badgers that played through Thanksgiving to come to that practice, and then Friday get to the game.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach. Now joined down on the field, Jack Bennington with receiver Jay-Sean Davis. Jay-Sean had 2 touchdowns tonight, a great win for the Badgers. How does it feel?
It feels good. Just to get 2 touchdowns again another week.
And now the team putting on an outstanding performance. How does the team go into next week? Obviously a different kind of week with it being Thanksgiving, but still a big game coming up against probably CrossFit next week. How's the team go in with the same mindset next week?
We just got to keep the same mindset, just play hard, and just keep going.
Awesome. Thanks, Jay-Sean.
You're welcome.
Joined down on the field now, Jack Bennington with defensive player Malcolm Turner. Malcolm had the interception, the big interception there in the second half. How did it feel?
Oh, it felt amazing. I saw the quarterback roll out. I just stayed with my man. He threw it. I caught it.
And now going into next week, the team going to get to play through Thanksgiving once again. A great opportunity for the Badgers to get to do. How's the team going to go into the mindset next week?
Just take it one game at a time. We just got to stay calm, stay motivated, and stay humble. And just attack it like any other team.
Awesome. Thanks, Malcolm.
He's got some football left in his career. He's a senior, but the Badgers aren't through in these playoffs now in the 3rd round. After that, he just might be in the radio booth with us. I think Malcolm really enjoyed that interview, and we were glad to have that opportunity. I tell you what, we'll take one more break. When we come back, offensive and defensive players of the game will preview next week against CrossFit. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Florist and Gifts on Main Street in Arkadelphia has served the people of Arkadelphia and her surrounding communities, providing a wide variety of floral and gift needs. Do you have a special occasion that calls for just the right touch of creativity? Join the many who call David Goodman at Mary and Martha's to create a floral arrangement to fit their needs and budget. Call Mary and Martha's at 870-246-2446 or visit their location at 921 Main Street in Arkadelphia. Mary and Martha's Florist is a proud supporter of the Arkadelphia Badgers.
Thanks for meeting me here.
No problem. You know, Farm Bureau Insurance has local agents making this kind of thing real easy.
Well, your auto insurance has saved me a lot on old Becky here.
Harold, your dog swallowed the remote again.
Who's that?
Older Becky.
Oh. Ugh.
Real service, real people. That's Farm Bureau Insurance.
Call Clark County Farm Bureau today at 870-246-4554.
Last segment of the post-game show. This is Jeff Root along with me, Chris Babb. I want to say thank you again to Jim Rothwell on statistics earlier in the post-game show. And now back in the booth with us is Jack Bennington. A couple of scores for you, and then we'll talk about offensive and defensive players of this game. Robinson did get the win tonight over CAC. 36-0 was the final, so Robinson looks like they're in good form. Pea Ridge 21, Star City 14. That's an important ball game in 4A also. Let's see who else we might give you. Let's give you a Gurdon score. They got a win tonight, 41-22 over Dirks. Pulaski Academy beat Harrison 28-21.
Wow, what a game! That was one of the top games in 5A. Obviously, number 3 against number 2. And that was at Harrison, I believe.
It is very unusual for anybody to play Pulaski Academy that well.
Well, and that few points, 28-22, 50 points total.
Absolutely. West Memphis got a win tonight, 33-28 over Lake Hamilton. Big win for Coach Elmore over there. Greenwood beat Siloam Springs 24-7. They lost earlier, of course, to Benton, but they are bouncing back, it would appear. Other scores from around the state. Risen got the win over Lamar tonight, or at least that game is in the fourth quarter. 36-14 Risen over Lamar. We're waiting for a score on the Alma Whitehall game. We do see that Hoxie has defeated Boonville 34-28. Nashville, of course, got that win we told you about over Dardanelle, 35-34. Bryant over Fayetteville, 42-14. Bryant continues to be very, very strong. Des Arc 40, Mountainburg 0. And a couple more scores for you. Fordyce 38, Magazine 14. And Crossett did beat Gosnell 31-6. So just before we do offensive, defensive players of the game, let's talk about Crossett just a little bit. As Jim Rothwell told us at halftime, Chris, that's a team with a good defense. They showed it tonight, giving up only 6 points.
Yeah, Crossett is one of the hottest teams in the state. Lost at Magnolia in the first game, lost to Whitehall, and then lost to McGee. But then turned things around. Started off 0-3. Then turned things around, and they've rattled off 9 wins in a row. So something about a team that starts off with a losing streak and turn it around sounds a little bit familiar to Badger fans. But Arkadelphia is going to be in the way next week, going to Ashley County. I believe that means Crossett will come into the game 9-3 next week after winning 9 straight. Really got hot late. They had a close game against Star City, 20-13, and a 1-point win against Hamburg. But the other victories, except for the Warren that we talked about, a 3-point victory against Warren, is they've all been pretty much blowouts in that conference. They are the 1 seed from the 4A8. They feel good about their team, as they should, and they're 9 wins in a row. You're doing something right. It'll be a big challenge for Arkadelphia next week. But you go back to the last 4 years, I believe Arkadelphia, somewhere close in this, 12-3 or 13-3 on the road in the playoffs, including the 2 championship games at War Memorial. The true road games, Arkadelphia has had success on the road in the playoffs, and that's what they'll do again next week.
You have to be old like me, Chris, but there was a time when Arkadelphia and Crossett played every year, and that trip to cross it was not an unusual one, but
Right.
it's one that we haven't made in a long time here in Arkadelphia, and so we're going to have to rediscover that road.
I remember hearing some of those Class 3A.
There you go.
In 1983, I think CrossFit played Cabot in the 1983 3A state championship game, I believe. I could be wrong, but CrossFit has a tremendous history of football. They had a couple of down years, a few down years, but they do have a rich history and tradition of football in Ashley County, and they'll be ready to cheer on their Eagles next Friday night. Need a big crowd. It's the Friday after Thanksgiving. Arkadelphia has always traveled well during the playoffs, and it'll need to be the same situation next Friday in CrossFit.
The Eagles fly high as their call, and the Arkadelphia Badgers going to have to try and calm that down a little bit. I'll give one more score, Chris, and it is a surprise to me, not necessarily in who won, but the score. We had an early score from this game in which Warren was leading, but the final score was Ozark 41, Warren 17, so Warren is out of the playoffs.
Wow.
That's wild,
41-17 is a surprise to me. Now, Ozark we know is a good team, but that is a surprise to me, even in a year where Warren was not quite as well thought of as usual, for Warren to fall out by that kind of a score in the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah, I
Bit
think,
of a surprise.
Yeah, I think Ozark was, I think most people figured Ozark would end up winning that game. At Ozark, they have a tremendous home field advantage. They have things rolling in the River Valley as well, and I think 24-point victory. Don't know how that game went, whether it was close and then pulled away at the end, but Ozark. Warren is young this year, and they'll be back as well. It is bring an end to a terrific high school career for Vincent Steps, the running back for Warren.
We had an early score in which Warren was ahead in that game, but I'm not sure what it was by halftime, and then Ozark obviously pulled away in the second half. Let's return, though. We'll bring Jack back into the conversation. Let's return to the Arkadelphia game. Arkadelphia's big win tonight, 56-20 over Dewitt, and talk about an offensive player of the game. Jack, I tell you what, you got a lot of good choices. Who do you go with?
There's too many choices. I would give it to like 25 if I could. But I mean, honestly, just for the fact of coming in and making an impact early, Jay-Sean Davis, a name I think you mentioned earlier, a name that we don't call super often, but a name we're going to call pretty often in the upcoming years. And tonight getting two very, very key touchdowns for the Badgers. One, I think it was the second one for the Badgers of the game when the score was 7-6 Arkadelphia, and then they were able to get on the touchdown him with a rushing touchdown to give them an 8-point lead in the first quarter. Really big at that point for him to get a good touchdown at that point. And then in the second half, getting a touchdown reception from the quarterback Alex Loy, facing a long third down. I think I'd have to give it to Jay-Sean Davis, my offensive player of the game.
Both of those were long yardage touchdowns. The run, actually the third touchdown for Arkadelphia, the run by Davis, but it was a 40-yard run, and he really showed some speed. We know he has size also, so a great play by Davis. And then the touchdown reception from Alex Loy late in the ball game. He just outran everybody once he got the ball across the middle. Good pass also from Loy. So offensive player of the game, we've got one vote for Jay-Sean Davis. Chris, who do you go with?
I was thinking the same thing. Jay-Sean, there are a lot to choose from. You could go with any of the three-headed monster, but with Turner, Harrison, Thomas, they all averaged over 10 yards per carry. I do like the Jay-Sean pick. Cannon had a nice start. He had the first couple of touchdowns running. I really like the way Arkadelphia ran the ball. So just to throw a wrinkle in it and let you guys pick, I'd almost go if this was kind of one of those deals where ball security was a big deal, but the running game had to get going. So the offensive line might be a good choice as a unit tonight because they allowed Davis, Turner, Harrison, and Thomas to gain all those yards on the ground.
Yeah, we should give a separate award probably for the offensive line because they play as a unit. They play very, very well. The offensive line a key in every single ball game. Well, Cannon Turner had 2 touchdowns tonight. Harrison had 2 touchdowns tonight. Jay-Sean Davis 2 touchdowns tonight. Thomas had a touchdown. And Rogers had a touchdown. 5 different Badgers scored touchdowns tonight. But I tell you what, it was a 3-headed monster coming in. It might be a 4-headed monster now with Jay-Sean Davis. So I'm going to agree, and we'll say the sophomore Jay-Sean Davis is our offensive player of the game. Defensive player of the game. Chris, you go first.
Man, that's a tough one. There were so many opportunities there. I am going to have to punt on this one because I just
Jason Campbell, we saw a lot. We saw a lot of Sammy Hawthorne. I saw a couple of the defensive coaches, or the coaches from Dewitt, talking to Sammy after the game. Malcolm had the interception late. We saw several defensive linemen in the backfield. Sammy Hawthorne, Trey Bledsoe with a couple of big plays defensively. Maybe Sammy Hawthorne might have to be my pick.
Sammy Hawthorne is a good pick. Got a lot of good work from multiple linebackers, Jack. The defensive line played well. Ricky Rogers really put a lot of pressure on the quarterback at various times. Lots of choices, as Chris said. Who do you go with?
Yeah, I mean, watching the game tonight, you saw DeWitt, their offensive line. I mean, every team that the Badgers play, their offensive line has their hands full, and especially tonight, the defensive line and the front seven for the Badgers really had their way for the better part of the entire night. I was honestly thinking either Sammy Hawthorne or Jason Campbell to be my pick, but with Chris picking Sammy Hawthorne, I'll make it a little bit harder and go with Jason Campbell as my defensive player of the game.
And I'm going to pick Sam Hawthorne. Had the big interception. We're going to go with him. So Sammy Hawthorne, the senior, is our defensive player of the game. Our offensive player of the game goes to Jay-Sean Davis, the sophomore, who scored 2 of the Badger touchdowns tonight. There were plenty of touchdowns. Before we go, Chris, I want you to say a word or two about the group of people that you train and organize and work, because there was some outstanding work on camera tonight under difficult circumstances.
Yeah, we had a lot of adjusting up on the film deck. Franco Zuniga and Carson Lewis really had to do a lot of stopping and turning the camera, wiping their camera lens off. They did a great job. I think we had some streaming issues at some point. Wasn't on our end. I have no idea where it came from because we had a lot of upload speed, but maybe I spoke that into existence when I got on to Badger fans for not coming to the game if you're in Arkadelphia. So maybe I won't say anything about that in the future. But regardless, it was a good effort from Franco and Carson and Mike Meeks of Angry Goat Media. Thanks for helping as well.
Yeah, Mike Meeks was a big help also, and that means a Ouachita Baptist University student and a student from Goza Middle School on the cameras tonight. They both did a super job. I also want to say thank you to Jim Rothwell on statistics. For Jack Bennington on color commentary tonight, for our quarterback of the team, Chris Babb, this is Jeff Root telling you the final score once again from Badger Stadium. Arkadelphia 56 and DeWitt 20. Arkadelphia heads to Crossett for the next round of the playoffs next week, and we'll bring that game to you. This is Jeff Root. Good night, everybody. And Abby, Daddy's on his way home.
You are watching Arkadelphia Badger football on ArkadelphiaBadgerTV.com and the Mascot Media app. Arkadelphia Badger football 2019 is brought to you by Edward Jones Blake Bell, Turner & Turner PA, Austin Wingfield State Farm Insurance, Farm Bureau Insurance of Clark County, Welch Funeral Home, Doctors Gary and Rob Rucker, Southern Bancorp, Price & Company Insurance and Bonds, Southwest Sporting Goods, Eccles Thompson and Kneebone Ltd, Mary and Martha's Florist and Gifts, Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler CPA, Taylor King and Associates, Angry Goat Media, Southwest Auto Collection, Citizens Bank, Print Media, Ouachita Baptist University, and Kerry Garnett, broker at Blinn Real Estate in San Diego, California. Arkadelphia Badger football is a joint production of the Arkadelphia Public School District and the Rogers Department of Communication at Ouachita Baptist University.